because they're like, oh no, they've gone through the Egghead stuff. They've gone through a journey with Vegapunk. They understand more. They're gonna have Robin, who is gonna have a greater understanding, obviously, of all of the stuff that was there. And so when they read the Joy Boy story, they might not come out of it laughing, because I think Joy Boy's story is gonna be the most tragic story in the entire series. And so coming out of that, I would.
Welcome back to Will of These, where you get your One Piece related content. I'm here with my co-host Figurlin and Momo.
Oh my god, there we go.
Rat alert! Rat alert!
Okay.
I told
Kyle
you.
D. Topper,
Yerp.
Matt in the morning,
We here, baby.
and Aphrodite Sakura. What's good? And today we're not gonna do anything quirky for our intro because we got to go. We're interviewing King Recon. Let's get a round of applause. Matt, you usually got that, bro.
Bro, Coach Recon, bro. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
man.
Clap it up,
Yo.
clap it up.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I just have to say how much I love the name Figurlin de Momo.
Yes,
That goes hard. That goes hard.
Bro, shout out to the Rob Lucci meme, bro. That's what changed everything. But, I'm gonna let Matt kick it off this time, bro, because I feel like Matt's the most prepared out of all.
So
of us.
yeah, man. How are you, dude?
Bro, and like I was telling you off air, we are in the best time period to be a fan of this series. We've got the live action popping. We've got the anime going in. We've got the manga slapping. We even have the English dub about to hit the Onigashima greatness. Everything is hitting. Everything is going in. And so if you are a fan of One Piece, how could you not say you're having a great day? It's going in, man.
I want to have this interview to talk about you first, bro. Because if I feel like we mostly talk about One Piece, bro, but we don't actually get to know the YouTuber or know the person that's speaking to us. So I want to know your origins. What's the King Recon lore? Like, what's the origins of your name, bro? Like,
Oh, the name?
yeah.
Did you guys play Halo back in the day? So whenever the 360 dropped and Halo 3 came out, I was absolutely obsessed with the Recon armor on Halo 3. And I changed my Xbox name to King Recon. And whenever I came over to YouTube, originally I wanted to do One Piece stuff while mixing my gaming stuff too, because I'm really into the games stuff as well. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna do anime, manga, and video game stuff. So I might as well just call myself what I've always called myself, and that's the origin of the name.
Bro,
that's just my Xbox gamer tag.
Long?
Yeah, man.
Bro had his name. Okay. So what's the journey of your channel? Because I heard that your first channel got terminated and whatnot.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was crazy because we'd already been in the game for 2 years. We started with it was chapter 710. The Dressrosa dropped. And
Wait, so you started with One Piece?
oh yeah, I started One Piece. That was the reason why I started the channel, because I had friends that were into Naruto. I had friends that were into Bleach, but I didn't have that many people to talk about One Piece with. And there was this girl in my class that I would always annoy with the One Piece stuff. But since we were about to graduate, I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna have anybody to talk about One Piece with. So I was like, you know what, I was already on YouTube anyway, watching other people, being involved in the comments, on forums and stuff, because I've been a One Piece fan already for a while. And so whenever I got my first smartphone, the very first thing I did, I ain't getting nobody's number. I didn't do that. I said, we're hopping on YouTube and talking about some One Piece, dog.
No way.
That's actually so amazing.
Yeah, and so we started off with Dressrosa. Of course, we were still covering Bleach and Naruto too, but One Piece was always my main thing. And here we are. And then in regards to the old channel being taken down, I remember I was in class. And it was crazy because you wake up one day, you never know what you're gonna get yourself into. And I remember I went to the bathroom, shut my phone, and I had like 25 copyright strikes. And I was like, what in the world is going on? So I had already, of course, like I've been doing this for a long time, right? And or 2 years at that point. And to know that my channel was about to be taken out, it it kind of stung at the time, but because everything was so good, Gintama was popping off, Toriko was popping off, Bleach was popping off, and of course One Piece was going absolutely insane. It was just entering Zoe. I was like, I can't stop doing YouTube. I love doing this too much. So the moment I got home, even though the channel got taken out, I created a new one, and we immediately got right back into it with this one. Because I was like, as long as my biggest worry was finding that the individuals who were rocking with me could find the channel once again. That was my biggest worry. I didn't care about starting over.
Yeah.
That was no problem. But as long as the platform is here, I still want to talk about the One Piece greatness. But in regards to the individuals finding me, that was my biggest worry. But thank God, a bunch of people in the community helped me out with that. They were my Impel Down crew.
Yeah.
And they rescued me out of Impel Down, baby. So we're here.
Now, mad respect, bro, because I can't even imagine, like, as someone who's also been doing, YouTube and stuff for a while, just to have like all your work taken away like in a moment, and just being able to pick it back up and be like, fuck it, bro, we ball. There's too much going on.
There's too much greatness, bro.
I feel that I understand that feeling because I've been through my like trials and tribulation with YouTube. But it's like I respect that like genuine fucking energy. You see, that's why I fuck with you, because I love that energy. Like you said, bro, first thing I got a smartphone. What did I do? No phones, no number. I sat here, it's like, bro, One Piece, baby. That's fucking hard, bro. That's hard. I love that's some OG YouTube shit, because you don't get to see that shit that often anymore. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't got a problem with modern day YouTube, right? But you don't get to see like there's some dudes like, you know what, plop there, plop down. It's like, we're talking about One Piece. That's it, bro. Nothing more, nothing less, no bullshit. Just, I love this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because that's kind of the reason we started this channel. Like, I remember I approached Matt and Kyle. I was like, bro, we all watch One Piece. We yap about it anyways, bro. Let's just put it on camera. Fuck you, curious, you know?
Right.
And I self-asserted myself. I was like, yo, you're not gonna leave me out.
Yeah, he's like, One Piece. I gotta get in on this. And, 1 year later, here we are.
We thought about adding other people too, but like. We've known each other for a while. Our synergy was just so good, and we just, it came natural.
Yeah, it was like a running meme with the One Piece propaganda. We didn't stop talking about it.
And people were like, "Shut up, bro."
Bro, ever since 2020, I was like, y'all gotta invest in these stocks, man, for One Piece, bro. I used to be a Hunter fan, but I got tired of waiting for another chapter, so I was like, I gotta jump. And I started One Piece already. I was falling like in love with it, but I was anime only, so I was watching Dressrosa.
Gotcha.
And you know how that much that was a slug, right? So
That's
it's
right.
like, and then I picked up that Whole Cake, and I was like, bro,
Whole Cake.
bro. And I fell in love, and I was like, everybody, get on One Piece stocks right now. And if you're not, in 2 years, I'm not fucking with y'all, bro. I'm not fucking with y'all. I got 10 people on it. That's all that matters to me, bro. I'm good on it now. I feel it.
Nah, dude, that's dope for Hunter x Hunter, man. That's still my profile picture on the channel, because Hunter x Hunter represents a lot. I think it's a phenomenal series. The message of the series. Togashi's just he's a master, but when he's not there, like when Hunter x Hunter's not there, there is a hole. There's a massive hole that needs to be filled, and so I can't wait for it to come back, man. I can't wait for Togashi to come back.
But yo, I can relate with that, because that's what fucked me up in anime, because I watched Hunter x Hunter when I was 12, and I can't lie, I became a pretentious douchebag for like 3 years into the anime, 'cause I was like, nothing can fill this void in me, for Hunter x Hunter. I was like, bro, everything else is trash. I was stupid then, but it's like, I was like, nothing hit anymore, man. I was like, damn, I feel it. Wait, so wait, Matt, if you want to move on to the next question, you got it, bro.
1 second.
Yo, real quick, if I could just ask y'all about your One Piece origins, I'm interested in that.
It's different for all of us.
Okay.
I'll go first, right? So because mine is the most sinful one out of all of us.
Yeah,
man. So what happened was I by the time I was like I finished watching or catching up to Naruto. I've already watched Naruto, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Soul Eater right around this time. I was like, let me watch One Piece, and I watched it. And it's not like because people say One Piece gets good at like episode 100. I loved One Piece from the beginning, but I dropped it at Drum Island for whatever reasons, or either Drum Island or Arlong Park. Right, I picked up again 2 years later, dropped it at Alabasta because I got bored, and then. One day I saw this One Piece opening 10, and it was the We Are remix, right? And I was like, I was getting emotional. I was like tearing up because I was like, oh my God, Like maybe I was dick riding hard for a series I barely even knew, but I was like, oh my god, like I don't know why that opening did it for me, but it made me understand One Piece. I was like, I got it. I was like, I need to watch One Piece when this happens. So I skipped all the way to Sabaody.
What?
Yeah.
I skipped all the way to Sabaody.
I never let him live it down.
I don't regret it, but I've been rewatching all the arcs recently. I'm at I've already rewatched this, but I'm rewatching it again just to do it. I rewatched Skypiea. Overhated in my opinion. Overhated. But I rewatched Skypiea right now, rewatching Water 7 and Enies Lobby, and my sins will be completely cured once I get through Thriller Bark, and that's it. But yeah, that's my story.
That's really unique. I was actually the other day for the live action stuff, because a bunch of people were talking about, that we need the individuals who watch live action to go back from chapter 1 and all this stuff. I was like, listen, man, whatever gets people in the door gets them in the door, dog.
Yeah.
We can't gatekeep. Like I of course want individuals to watch stuff or read stuff from chapter 1, episode 1. But if that's not what gets them in the door, whatever gets you in the door gets you in the door, and that's how I've always looked at it.
Yeah, I appreciate you said that, man. That's a fact right there. Even though I think my actions were sinful, I still
for sure. But still, it got you in the door. That's why you're here,
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's interesting you bring up the live action, because it's like I don't even feel like people can watch a live. Okay, not necessarily feel like I feel like people can watch the live action and still enjoy One Piece, because it's like they leave out so many good details where it's like, I think it's good because the live action does its job. You could go anime from episode 1, and it's still like a different experience, which is what I love. If people want to skip and go from where the live action stopped off, that's still good. Like it still takes off pretty well. Like I've fun with it. But yeah, everybody else with their One Piece origins, y'all go now. I'm gonna go next.
You go ahead, Mama.
Me? I've been reading One Piece ever since like the 2nd, 3rd grade. I've been following along. This is like, because I'm 26 now, so it's been almost 2 decades. I can't. It's like 30, crazy.
Bro. Jesus.
Because I remember coming across it in the library, like in elementary school. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I read through everything they had in probably like a month. Then I'm like, okay, well, where do I get more? There has to be more. So I hit the internet. I'm like, One Piece, and they're like, oh, you can find One Piece in your Shonen Jump magazine. You can pick up at a gas station. Back when they used to still publicize Jump in the North America.
I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, so like literally every week, I put my older brother, younger brother on, and we'd convince our mom to buy us Jump magazine every week, and every week we'd read through it. And then they stopped selling Jump magazine. It's probably when I was like in middle school, high school. Then I was like, all right, time to find the online scanulations. Back when, oh my god, like to me, these were the dark times of One Piece, where there weren't a lot of like translation groups, so you'd have the roughest, just craziest translations, and I'm like, what are they talking about? But we pushed through, and then here we are, 2023. My God, where there's groups out the wazoo, with amazing translations. There's Viz Media, official translation online, So I've been rocking with One Piece for quite a long time. Like easily, I mean, not easily. It's my 2nd favorite anime / manga series. And holds a very special place to my heart, because I grew up with this shit,
Right. That's awesome.
Mine is pretty basic, I would say. I'd have to credit like most of it to Afro, because this was like 2 or 3 years ago. Like I had discovered my favorite anime of all time, Mob Psycho, and I was like, bro, I can't find any other anime that's as good as this, bro. I don't even like watching anime no more. And then like, all of my friends were talking about One Piece, so I was like, fuck it, I'll read it. And that was during my my quarantine year of high school. So that was like my perfect time to read it, because I would just read that shit while I was in class. Like, I kid you not, I was not paying attention. I was just reading One Piece.
That was me with My Hero, bro. I feel it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't get what the teacher talking about.
I haven't watched the anime except the episodes that we watched on the channel. But I was strictly manga. I read it really fast too. I was finishing like a month and a half or 2 months or some shit like that.
Oh, nice.
But yeah,
a high school time.
Hey, shout out to Mob Psycho though, dude. That's a great anime.
Yeah,
great anime.
Nothing will ever top it for me.
Amazing. And then Matt, you go, bro.
Well, I guess it started back in like 2013. So it was like my sister. No, it started way before then. So my sister had an iPod, and then you can have movies on the iPod. So she was trying to get my dad to see this show that she's been watching, and it was Luffy in like Punk Hazard, and I'm like, okay, let me see this. And I just see Luffy flying through the snow. I'm like, okay, I don't know what this is. Okay, so a bunch of time passed, and then my sister tried to put me on One Piece again. It was like, this is 2013, and then I didn't know anything about One Piece. I didn't even know Luffy existed, to be honest. I know I seen him in Dragon Ball when they had the collab with Toriko, Goku.
See.
Yeah, and they had the whole clash.
Yeah.
It's a great episode.
Yeah,
It's a great episode.
but I started watching it, and then I loved it from episode 1. I don't know why I loved it from episode 1. I just
I did too.
I just got addicted. I just kept going and I'm going, and then opening 2 came on, and then I was like, "That's it. This solidifies it." I'm watching all of it, bro. When I heard that song from Cobra 7, bro, I'm like, I'm done. Bro.
Yeah.
But and then
That's awesome.
I got to Dressrosa. I caught up to Dressrosa, and this was like what 2015 or something, because that's when that's where the anime was. And then I had to stop reading it. I have to stop watching it because Dressrosa was just I couldn't, bro. It was just too much running. It was just I couldn't.
It's a lot.
So then I took a freaking a 7-year break, and then I came back in 2021, and I watched Whole Cake instead. I skipped Dressrosa. I went to Whole Cake. I was like, Whole Cake is my favorite arc of all time. Sanji's not my new favorite character. I just caught up after that, and that's where we are now, bro.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope, yo. Like it's crazy because I think I'm more similar to Figureland and Momo, where I've been with, especially the big 3. I've been with them for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like it's for so long. Naruto first, and then Bleach. But like I remember whenever I got into One Piece, bro, that was like that was one of those experiences where while you're going through it, because everybody has that fictional story that just it rocks with you. You feel like it was made specifically with you in mind, and that's how I felt about this one, where I was like, everything about this rocks. It has my energy. It has the whole chasing your dreams thing that still is really big for me with like Jaya and Skypiea. So many things that were genuinely life changing, and I was like, I remember going through it in the anime first, and I just loved the vibes. I loved how this was a group of individuals that were just chasing their dreams together, attempting, no matter what was in front of them, they were gonna find their way out of the situation in order to progress forward. And every island presented a new obstacle, a new challenge, but new incredible moments and soundtracks. And it was one of those first watches that it might be like an all-time. For everybody, it's different because you always catch up at a different time. But I feel like for everyone, that first One Piece watch will always be special because you just don't know what's coming next. It's like it's so much fun. But catching up to the manga was like a brand new thing, because even though I'd already been reading Naruto and Bleach, for One Piece it was a little different because the chapters are so dense. They're so long, or at least they feel like they're much longer. So I remember when all 3 would drop, I would be like, okay, I got my Naruto, got my Bleach. I can read these in like 3 to 5 minutes because I was reading these in school. So like when a chapter would drop, I only had a certain amount of time to read these, and I'd be like, bro, I can't read a One Piece chapter in 5 minutes. Like that is gonna take me 5 minutes to read a page. No?
I had the exact same experience as someone who was also reading the big 3 at the same time. I was like, all right, okay, I gotta choose which ones am I gonna read now just to get the information and the hype, and which ones I'll be okay saving for later.
Right. Yep, you know how it is.
Now for me, bro, the big 3 for me was Fairy Tail and Naruto back then, bro. That's how I was operating. But that's funny though, how you was like mentioning like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. My fault, man. Yo, wait.
Bro, like reading One Piece, like every chapter leaves you thinking about something new, like a different question about life, or like how this character acts. I don't know how it does, but even the world building, it feels like it's like reading the newspaper, like the morning newspaper. Like you read it, like, oh, there's a new event happening, and it actually affects you. I don't know how he does it.
No, when you was talking about dreams, bro, like that kind of clicked, because like for me, when I was like, I wasn't really a receptive to One Piece in my teenage years, because I was really like nihilistic back then, right? So I like, of course, like I like the Chimera Ant talk of Hunter x Hunter was like fit me, or like Full Metal Alchemist, right? Like more darker shows. But as I've grown older, like I guess became more optimistic and individualistic. Like One Piece right now, like I don't know why One Piece clicks in my head, because about following your dreams and everything. It's like it has such a strong way of conveying that. Like I don't think that I've seen a story convey following your dreams like One Piece does. Because it's like you brought up Sky P, and it's like I feel like a great example, which is my favorite scene in One Piece, is the Blackbeard speech to Luffy, and like how everybody's laughing at them. Yeah, like if you see my Twitter, like it's the background of that, right? Because it's like it conceptualized it so well, and that's still with Bellamy. And I was like, I don't know why now, because like now every time like Luffy says I'm gonna become king of the pirates, it's like you feel that shit, bro.
You start clapping, bro.
Yeah,
and honestly, right, because you know, going through my journey as a storyteller, I've come to understand that you may plot certain things in your head, but you can only write what's in your heart. You got to be what's honest with like you got to be honest with yourself whenever you're writing. And Oda's an honest writer, and you can see that he's changed the script multiple times based on what he's interested in, depending on the arc. And for Skypiea and Jaya, it's interesting because you know, when the series started, even though One Piece was pretty successful off the bat, they were kind of writing it off like, oh yeah, it's not gonna be the next Dragon Ball. It's not gonna be what was really hot at the time, like Kenshin, Hakusho, that stuff. Like One Piece for its first 10 issues, it didn't really perform that well, and still to this day, the issue that got the least ranking in the history of One Piece is the Pirate King and Master Swordsman chapter with Luffy and Zoro. And to me, it's so interesting because, you know, coming off of Arlong Park, very successful, coming off of Alabasta, which was the most successful arc in Japan after Dragon Ball. Like, after Dragon Ball ended, when Alabasta came out, everybody was like, no, this is the series. And what did Oda do after creating Alabasta? The following arc was a Follow Your Dreams arc. And it felt like Oda saying to all of the readers out there, I made it. I made it to the point to where these individuals told me I could not make it too. And I'm going to represent that in Jaya with Luffy and Zoro not fighting back against Bellamy, who are the individuals who were telling him the naysayers at the beginning of the series. And I was like, Oda never forgot those people and brought them up in Jaya specifically because that's what was in his heart. And so I've always looked at it in that way, and that like always it changes Jaya and Skypiea for me whenever you think about it in that way. Like it's incredible.
No, because like generally when I'm watching, not rewatching. My first time watching Skypiea, I just finished it last month, right? And something I'll say this fully. I think Skypiea is the most like, I don't know if this is the right word. It's like One Piece arc. Like that's what Oda wanted to make. Like it's like the most silly pirate adventure that you wanted to make. It still has like intricacies of like everything else that's like involved in One Piece, but overall it's really like pirates looking for gold, bro. Like when do you get that in One Piece? You know what I'm saying? You don't get that in One Piece that much. You know what I mean? It's literally just a silly, whimsical pirate adventure. But the way how you present it, like Skypiea with Jaya with Oda like basically talking about the reader. It's like, yo, this is my commentary. I never thought about it like that. That's like
my favorite thing about One Piece, or my favorite thing about Oda is that like when I was reading or watching other shows, like they would do stuff that it was obvious it wasn't intentional, but everything that Oda does is just intentional. Like I'm never left thinking, oh, he just did this to pad time, or he's doing this because he didn't have time to finish or some shit.
Right, and you can see that in his interviews. Like he says he gets bored easily. So in order for him to not be bored, he constantly comes up with new stuff to entertain himself. And so because of that, it means something to him. Everything that we see in these chapters, it's nothing that would bore him. He hates being bored. So he's like, I'm gonna do whatever means necessary to not be bored. And if I'm not gonna be bored, I'm not gonna let my readers be bored. So that's why every single panel in One Piece feels like it has some sort of importance.
Entertaining yourself is such an important thing, bro.
Right.
I love it.
It's kind of funny because I feel like you can see that, and like, because I feel like the arcs that people criticize a lot would be like Alabasta, Fishman, even recently Wano at the moment right now. And I feel like, me personally, while I get it, I personally can't really keep the same energy because I feel like Oda is just having fun trying out everything he can because he loves because one of my favorite things about One Piece is geography, like wise, you're not gonna see like a geography as rich as One Piece, like culturally, like every place is like because it's like I feel like a good example is like going to a new One Piece island is like going to a new planet. It's like going to a new planet. It's like Goku going to Namek, bro. Like for sure. Like One Piece got like 5 Nameks, not in a sense like to compare the series. I just mean like in how full each island is. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like that's one of the I feel like that's Oda just having fun, and that's one of the best parts about One Piece. But I also feel like that's one of the most misunderstood parts of it, also, because people are like, I want to see Zoro do more fights. I want to see Luffy get more serious. I want to see, you know what I mean? They want to see the main cast do more stuff. But I feel like, we're gonna be eating later for that because they're still in the story. Oda's trying to have finish the country or whatever island he's on and make it as full of life as he possibly can. And that's my favorite part about it.
Right.
Yeah. But I feel it. That shit is hard though, man. I never really thought about it like that though. Like do you listen to the interviews though? Like, did he ever say that or about the whole Skypiea thing?
No, he's never said that. It's just like I said, since I've been embarking on my storytelling journey for a long time, where I've been writing my own series, and while going through it, I look at the other writers now and I look at their thought process. Like Togashi, for example, after taking a break from my own writing, I understand how difficult it must be for him, because it's one thing for you to continue to write on a consistent basis because that stuff's always in your head. It's got to be insanely difficult for you to come back to this stuff after not having been with it for a while and still have it feel extremely cohesive. It's why I find the Chimera Ant arc to be so masterful, because he wrote that arc in 9 years and everything in that arc fits. And so in that same line of thought with Oda, while rereading Giant Skypiea, because I reread that arc a lot, but in one of the rereads, it just hit me like, man, because I did a video a while ago, I think it was a couple years ago, on the Weekly Shonen Jump rankings for One Piece, the TV ratings for One Piece, all that stuff. But it was just so interesting how when I saw that the lowest ranked chapter in the history of the series is the Luffy and Zoro meeting chapter, it just put the Jaya scene into perspective so much. Like, why Luffy and Zoro specifically were in that scene to not fight against Bellamy. Like, everything just made so much sense. It was like Oda saying, yo, I've arrived, and I didn't have to say I've arrived. Like, I let my work speak for me. The same way that Luffy didn't do anything until his friends got involved. That's when he pummeled Bellamy. He could have done it the whole time. But he didn't have to. He was above that. And it's incredible. It's just one of those things that from experience, that's the way I interpret that sequence in Jaya now. But I do listen to a lot of Oda interviews. I do.
Of course, I'm trying to get my own section in the SBS one day.
Hey, one of these days, I believe in it.
Hey, you ever tried it or no?
Have you tried it yet, Kyle?
No, the SBS. No, I'm asking if you tried it.
Oh, no, I haven't tried it yet. I
wouldn't even know how to go about that, bro.
Hey, yo, who knows? But you say you're a storyteller, so tell me about that. Like, have you always wanted to be a storyteller, or is it a recent thing?
I think that's why this series has such a special place in my heart, because Final Fantasy VII really was the first thing that made me interested in the whole. I mean, I've loved stories since I was a kid. I just didn't know. I didn't know this was something that was like unique, like how everybody has their own thing, right? Where some people grow up, they touch a basketball, they're like, oh, I know. Some people grow up, they touch a soccer ball, oh, I know. Some people dancing or a chef, whatever it is. For me, ever since I was a kid, I've just been infatuated with stories. But I didn't understand that until my first watch through of One Piece, which is why that was so special to me, where going through Jaya's Skypiea and then Water 7 Enemy's Lobby for the first time, that made me feel something to where I was like, okay, I know what I want to do now, because I was in high school and I was trying to figure out what I want to do in my future. And after going through that arc, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to make someone else feel what One Piece is making me feel. And that's when I decided I gotta make stories, man. This is something incredible.
Yo, I can high-key relate to that, because I mean, I kind of fell out for love for it, but that's how I felt about animation, bro. And I saw like the fight scenes, because I was a huge Dragon Ball and Naruto, and I just loved the choreography in them. And I was into karate, because I was doing karate at the time, and I was like, I gotta make these fights. You know what I mean? I was like, I just gotta do that shit, right? And I feel because now I still like, because I like, I still consume the story. I still got like whole universes in my head that haven't been explored yet. But it's that's like, awesome. Yeah, I know, right? It's like I can. Which I'm not going to, but it's like I could like go off on an hour on all these universes I've ever thought of. So I understand that feeling. That's I fuck with that. I fuck with that. It's kind of inspiring hearing you say that. My fault, Matt. You've been wanting to talk for a minute.
This might be a bad question, right? But
There's no bad question, bro.
when it comes to your writing, right? What gets you like? What's the most exciting part of writing for you? Like, what's the funnest part? Like, is it like building your characters or the world building? Like, what really gets you back to the pen and paper?
That's a phenomenal question. So I think first starting off, it was definitely getting to those moments, like because the climax is growing up and experiencing all this stuff. I wanted to write my own. If you guys have watched Naruto, I wanted to get to my own Naruto Sasuke. Like the iconic stuff. Like I wanted to get to my own like a Pain arc or the Marineford, or like I wanted to create one of those when I started off. And it's still like that, of course, but over time, as I've come to understand and know my characters, that is what pulls me back more than anything else now. Where I could, and I think this has its origins in the fact that I actually enjoy watching stuff from my favorite series that are just like random filler episodes, because I just love the characters so much. I don't care what they're doing as long as it's them. And I feel that times 100 with my characters, where let's just say if I'm out and about one day and I think of a random like 5-page story with one of my protagonists, that genuinely brings me to the page, and thinking about what these characters can do, their futures, their sometimes, if not most of the time, they end up doing things themselves, which is why I understood whenever I read Oda's the reveal that Oda talked about him not planning the end of Alabasta with the Nakama scene, Shanks showing up in Marineford. I understood that because once you get to a point where you know your characters, they start doing things on their own that you can't stop them from doing.
Yeah.
And so when Shanks showing up in Marineford, that was Shanks. Like Oda was like, all right, Shanks, do your thing. When they did their Nakama scene at the end of Alabasta, even though that wasn't planned, it was so perfectly well done because Oda just let the characters do what they do. And I've come to understand and learn that's really what brings me back to the page.
That's magical. I can only imagine what Oda felt like seeing the live action, like seeing his characters come to life.
Right.
With real people.
Right.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, like him meeting Luffy got to be like crazy for him. Like he was like, "That's Luffy right there." Oh shit!
and you could see it whenever in the in that one video where he hugged Inaki Godoy. He was like, "My boy, come here!" Like,
oh my god, that's amazing, man. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, I feel the same way when I watched Reborn as well. Because in Reborn they be doing like silly little things, bro. They be having like silly little character moments where they're just chilling or like going to the swimming park and doing whatever. I was like,
you know what?
I enjoyed the ride so much.
This is why, in like nah, they don't have to do this. This is why, like in the anime for One Piece, I deadass want them to go to filler after Wano. Not because of not if people want to see the story, I feel it, right? But it's like I want to see Jinbei interact with the crew more in a lighthearted manner.
Yeah,
like,
me too, bro.
Yeah, like that's and that's why I say I love Sky P a lot because being like watching Wano whole cake, like let's say even the whole time skip past like Punk Hazard, right? There's barely any like silly whimsical moments, but there's nothing wrong. Like there's still moments here and there, but it's like the crew's either always separated or in go mode, and there's nothing wrong with that. But revisiting Skypiea just made me so happy because I was like, oh my god, this is like chill. I was like at the beginning, I was like, people, they were just being silly together, bro. I was like, I miss this. Like I miss this nonchalantness. I miss this chill vibe. I miss like the silly little interactions and the bits here and there, bro. Like 4 chapters on it, like when they was scuba diving, you know what I mean? And like I forget who, like the big monkey guy came and pulled up, right? yeah, that shit. I don't know why that shit just made me so happy watching that because I was like, oh my god, these are all characters I love. Like
right. Yeah, and just like you, I hope that from the beginning of chapter 1058, which has all the shenanigans, all the crew hanging out together, and the next time we see them before Egghead starts in 1060, I hope that we get a filler arc right there 100%. Between 1058 to 1060, right after or right before the Amazon Lily stuff with Blackbeard. Let us get a filler arc of like a couple episodes where we get the Straw Hat Gang having a blast on an island. And like you said, getting Jinbei acclimated to the crew. All those fun little interactions. I don't care how weak or strong the villain is. I just want to see the characters having fun. And then we cut back over to the serious stuff. We go over to Egghead. And by that point, we'll have given Egghead and the team a few more episodes, or a few more chapters to adapt. So that way they're not like really stretching stuff out. We'll give them an opportunity to let Egghead flow.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of that. Like I feel like my favorite chapter from at least this year was the Luffy's dream chapter, because we got a lot of fun whimsical stuff between the crew in those chapters. Right.
Yeah, Sanji,
that chapter was awesome.
That chapter really felt like pre-time skip to me.
Yeah, that chapter was special.
I loved it. Like I said, like the new bit with Sanji being the fourth one.
Yeah,
great.
That was hilarious.
Yeah,
Zoro was like, "Who cares what fourth place thinks?" That was hilarious.
That was great, man.
All right, so what do you guys think about? We got the season 2 coming. What do you guys think, bro?
Dude,
honestly, I have no words because it just I didn't know, like when we were covering all the little backstory videos, the behind the scenes for the live action for the first season. Even then, I didn't know what to expect. And then after watching the first season, I'm like, okay, I see what they did. They did a great job of breaking down One Piece and creating their own storyline that not only can get new people into One Piece, but also revitalizes the series for older watchers like me. Because when I watched it, I was like, oh man, this makes me want to go back and rewatch all these early seasons and stuff. So.
Same.
I think as long as they keep that same energy where they can give a new experience while also, doing a great job of paying homage to the original works, like they just gotta keep the formula that they're doing. They did a great job. They should do the same thing except with these new characters and new places.
Yep,
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Logetown, Whiskey Peak, King, Little Garden, Drum Island. And I'm going to assume we also get Alabasta next season. It just depends on how long it's going to be. But I'm really excited because obviously Chopper, Vivi, Robin, Crocodile, so many casts I can't wait to see. But just like Fearless Momo was just saying, in regards to the first season, it was so much fun. It captured the spirit of One Piece. I just hope they keep that exact same energy as vibe going into the next season. And whatever changes they end up making to, accommodate the live action side of things, I will 100% be down for it because they obviously stick true to their vision.
Yeah.
That's something I really appreciate about season 1, is that every change they made, they stuck through until the end in their vision. And I really appreciated that because they knew they wouldn't be able to take what was in the manga and the anime and directly, panel for panel, put it on screen. They had to change it up in some way, shape, or form and get the okay from Oda, right? Oda okayed all of the stuff that we saw. So just keep that same process for season 2. Keep Oda in the creative process. Let's have a lot of fun stuff like Little Garden. Make people because obviously now that we're hitting the grand line, I want individuals in the live action community to feel what we watched in the anime, where when we reached something like Little Garden and Drum Island, we were like, oh man, this is the Grand Line. Oh, this is super dope. And I hope that they build a set or CGI, whatever it is, that makes it truly feel like adventure One Piece. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they handle all of that. There's going to be a lot of great opportunities for epic moments and stuff like that. But the adventure aspect of season 2, if they nail that, oh man, we're Gucci. We are Gucci.
Yeah, especially because there's really so much to work with when it comes to those parts of One Piece. Like giants, I wonder how they're gonna do. Like, are they gonna be actual giants, or are they gonna be these are just taller-ish characters that will portray the giants?
Right.
I can't wait to see what Chopper looks like. Like, I know everybody's just thinking, is it gonna be cute, cuddly Chopper, or are we gonna get a CGI horror story?
Some people are saying it should be a human with antlers.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that either.
I would prefer that, bro, because look, I like CGI, right? But this isn't like a studio blockbuster movie. This is like Netflix budget, bro.
Right.
Their CGI is not like standard CGI. It's like,
but they did amazing with the sea beasts and stuff, right? So I feel like there shouldn't be a
problem.
problem.
But Chopper's gonna be on screen for a long time.
That is true.
So
That's a great
those
point.
sea beasts were on screen for like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I say it's like I said. When it comes to One Piece and when it comes to live action, I like my biggest fear for. I don't like talking about fears, but it's like my biggest fear is like how are they gonna keep up with the budget? Because 18 million episodes, crazy, man. Yo, that's
crazy.
Yeah. So it's like when it comes to that, like I'm expecting, like I said, because if you like, because you know how I feel about it if you've been on the channel, right? I feel like this is like it's gonna like be very CW, which I don't mind. I like it, right? But I would like them to like if you could find a way, tone down the CGI. Not because I don't like it. It's just I don't know if it's gonna be profitable. And if it is, hey, One Piece eating. If it is, it W, right? Well, like I said, it's like so I wouldn't mind Chopper being like a human with antlers. I still think his story like would be the same thing. All they like, I think they could do something similar like what they did with Arlong.
Which I love.
Yep.
It would really
me too.
hammer home the point of him having the human suit, right? The fact that he looks so different from the reindeer.
I like that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Hold on, you're selling me, bro. You're selling me.
Yeah, see? I'm all for practical effects, bro. I love practical effects.
That's my favorite part about the live action, the practical effects, the sets. I wish we saw more of the sets, but it's like they did such a good job on that.
They did.
I was like, wow, bro. Like Barati in real, like, because they did not go 1-to-1 with Barati. They just said we're gonna remake the whole thing in a sense.
Yeah,
right?
I love the
It's
little
so
bar
nice.
area and stuff, and just how it played into the story with like Usopp like talking to freaking Mihawk. Like that was so crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Like every piece of that set was put into use.
Yeah.
Even like the bar on the side, and it's like you think you're not gonna be there. Then that's where Kobe and Helmeppo was talking, bro, about like about Luffy and Garp being
Kobe was taking shots.
Facts.
Yo, it took 2 shots from him to talk. Bro.
He was selling so hard.
But no, that's great. How do you feel about the manga right now, current arc with Egghead Island, King?
Oh man, dude. Yo, I'll tell you, as a longtime fan, I've seen more stuff that I never thought I'd ever see in just this year alone than I have at any other point in the series.
And so much.
It's so much, bro. Like, I can't believe in the same year we got a named attack from Shanks, a Garb versus Kuzan, and Emu, bro. Instant Messenger Sama, Sabo, Cobra, the Gorosei's names. We know the Gorosei's names. Luffy is fighting an admiral. Like, bro, what? There's just so many things that I never thought I would see in like at all. But the fact they've all happened this year, this has been like one of the craziest years that I've seen, man. For One Piece, if not the craziest. I just never thought I'd be seeing any of this stuff.
What were your initial thoughts when getting into Egghead? Because I think we at first thought it was gonna be like a Straw Hat character arc. Like Frankie's gonna be Vegapunk. He's gonna get some upgrades.
Yeah, we thought it was gonna get
upgrades. Yeah, we thought it's gonna be like, yay, they're gonna be having fun together. But then it turned into this whole lore dump. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh man,
it's crazy. Like the thing that shocked me the most, because I was expecting it to be an adventure. Definitely wasn't expecting. I expected the adventure. I expected the lore. But not the insanity. I wasn't expecting Garcia Saturn to pull up. I wasn't expecting us to go to outside of Egghead and see Blackbeard versus Law, or Shanks versus Kid, or any of the other stuff that we've gotten. Like, bro, that stuff is insane. It feels like we're getting a post arc and a One Piece arc at the same time, where they're happening at the exact same time, and it's so dope. It's so dope.
Bro, the best part about Egghead, and it's like you just bro, like a light bulb just went above my head when you mentioned Blackbeard, because we don't even know which Blackbeard pirate's on Egghead yet.
Exactly.
But what I love about Egghead is like how we don't know the timeline of everything, and everything's fallen in place now, because I guess we can kind of understand it a little bit now. But it's like we don't know how everything happened until the end of this arc, and I feel like that's the most fun about it. It's like it's low key at the moment reading it, like it's low-key like a create your own adventure. It's like, oh, did this happen? Did this happen first? And if this happened first, oh, is Blackbeard here? Would Blackbeard be like, you know what I mean? It's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like reading it weekly. And there's so many, like it has a great ratio of questions and answers. Cause like
Definitely.
the question is like, I feel like one question is like, yo, we finally get to see Garp fighting how strong he is. Like that's the answer. And then the question is like, bro, how the fuck he's gonna get out of here, bro? Like, is Kobe gonna come through? Like all that stuff. And then answer Kobe. We see Kobe in the next chapter cook. Like, you know what I mean? Like we get to finally see Kobe's potential, how strong he is. But then new question: what the fuck is Aokiji doing with Garp? And it's like boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
Every single chapter, bro. You know what I mean? And that's amazing. I can't lie. Like Egghead, I have not felt like this amount of satisfaction, like doing weekly for One Piece in entirety, because this coming after Wano also, specifically Wano, because Wano was insane.
Wano was already wild.
Dude, Wano was my favorite weekly experience. I've been reading manga for like 20 years. That was my favorite, and now it feels like Egghead's about to trounce even that. Because bro, Wano on a weekly dude, when you have an arc that gives you the Roger flashback stuff with Odin, and you get the Gear 5 stuff and Luffy Kaido. Oh, come on, man. That was the pinnacle. That was the pinnacle.
I got a funny story about that, right? Because it's like I just joined his Discord server, right? And I was talking to this guy in VC. He's talking about how he dropped One Piece at this moment, right? And I was like, bro, get back on it. He's like, what do you mean? You just dropped it right before the Roger backstory. He's like, what? And I was like, you know what? We're going to sit here and we're going to watch all of it right now because it's on the anime. So we sat there for 4 hours and watched a guy that I just met, by the way. I had no idea who he was, but we just sat there for 4 hours and watched the whole Roger backstory. And it was funny because there was drama happening in a different VC, and people would come down and ask us, yo, what's happening? It was like, bro, we're just watching One Piece. Just go back up, bro. We're just watching One Piece, bro. And that shit was like beautiful because it's like, it was also like I get to share like what a fan, like when you have those experiences, somebody that has an experience, like you get to feel what you felt during those times, right? And it's like the feeling to seeing Roger. And like Odin's amazing, by the way. If let's say character. Yeah, let's say if Roger wasn't even in Odin's backstory would still be a 10. The fact that Roger was there made it 1,000, right? Agreed. But it was like just sitting there and just seeing all these questions answered. It's like I was low key tearing up, bro. Like I was like, yeah, bro, this is what this shit means, bro.
Yes.
Like, damn.
Yes.
I feel it. Wano was insane, bro.
I hate to ask you this. Everyone here is gonna hate me, but do you dabble in power scaling at all?
It's always been like a more of a fun thing for me where I'll whenever I do it, it's like no seriousness, but I love it. I love listening to conversations about it. Because I feel like there's so much intensity whenever there's power scaling. There's like a lot of passion comes out, and I appreciate people talking about what they're passionate about. And so for a lot of discussions, I love listening to it. I feel like I wouldn't add much because it's not really my forte, but I do like discussing it whenever the opportunity is presented, since I almost never get to talk about power scaling. It almost never comes up.
I just wanted to ask how do you think this fight is gonna go with Kizaru? But it doesn't have to be in a power scaling sense, but like maybe in a narrative sense, but just your predictions in general.
Okay, so before I say, everybody's read to 92, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So with now with the Gear 5 and Kizaru thing, I really hope that what we're leading towards is awakened Kizaru and Gear 5 Luffy. And what I'm hoping from a narrative standpoint, and also just straight up from a hype standpoint, like I just want to see it. I really want to see what Luffy can do now that we saw, for example, going back to one of the most recent episodes, whenever he grabbed lightning, and being reminded of that. I want to see what he does with stuff like that, considering Kizaru's made of light. I want to see how far he can go, like, because we know Oda's gonna go insane with Gear 5 from here on out. That's unlimited in the things that he can do. But when when your opponent is made of light, how do you go about creating either a cartoon version of that or a Toon World version of this type of material? So when the chapter ended on him grabbing Kizaru like he's a toy, I was like, okay, this is interesting because now we have giant form Luffy. I'm going to assume, like I said, Kizaru is going to awaken very soon. I don't know what that awakening is going to do. I don't know if it turns other things into light or whatever it does. Whatever it ends up doing, I'm excited because we're finally going to get the opportunity to have an emperor and an admiral both going all out. And what does that mean for the island? What does that mean for the circumstances around? What does that mean for the newspaper? What does that mean for everything? You know,
no,
like
you're
it's
right. Because the last time we saw somebody go, because we, I mean, people might bring up Marine 4, but I feel like those passing Whitebeard around, respectfully, right? But it's like, when it comes to that, like the only time we seen it was Punk Hazard, bro, when Aokiji and
we didn't even see
fought,
it. We
bro.
just, you know,
we saw the aftermath.
And we got to see how because remember Punk Hazard was like a thriving island. It was abandoned, but it was beautiful. And then they just like, yo, let's fuck this shit up.
Right.
They fucked it up.
Right. And and that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, what is Kizaru going all out? What does that mean for Egghead? Like Gear 5 Luffy going all out. What does that mean for Egghead? And the two of them clashing. What does that mean for Egghead? So I'm really excited to see where that goes. I can't wait to see a bunch of like really cool attacks and awesome panels and stuff like that, obviously. But for just the two of them at the beginning of the final saga, giving us some sort of insight as to where Luffy is right now in the current part of the verse. Like, okay, if my man is taking on an admirals are obviously, ever since the beginning of the series, has been showcased as individuals that that should be feared within the One Piece world from the marine side of things. We've never seen one of them go all out against anyone. With our own two eyes. We've seen the aftermath of these things, but we've never seen it with our own two eyes. And so how does a Luffy, an individual who just finished taking out Kaido, an individual who just recently became an emperor, how does he fare against someone like Kizaru? Because that's going to tell us a lot, considering that after this, he's going to have the entire world against him. He's going to have the Pirate King race to go to. Like, we're going to find out a lot of things as to where we currently are for our crew. And that's just really, really exciting stuff. And I just hope that by the time that we reach the end of Egghead, we or maybe not all of the answers, because obviously there's a lot of stuff that are going to be kept for later on, as in classic Oda fashion. But I'm really hoping that we're building towards some sort of moment with Garcia Saturn. I need a Garcia Saturn moment. I don't care how it happens. I need Garcia Saturn to either see Gear 5 Luffy or him to talk to Robin, or I don't care. I need Garcia Saturn to speak to someone that knows about the Void Century, because once we get that knowledge and information, that's gonna get us in the door of like, oh, okay, this is where we're going with this. And obviously, the chapter just ended on the Iron Giant, which looks like it was just either awoken by the Drums of Liberation or something around those lines, to where it's like, okay, if that's the case, then why did it wake up 200 years ago? So like, it's like Oda's bringing up so many questions. Kuma's mission, we don't know what his mission is. We don't know where he's going right now. It's like there's so many questions that you can just tell. There's a reason why Oda went outside of the world first, and he was like, I'm gonna tell the Shanks story, the Garp story, the Sabo Reverie stuff, because when I get back to Egghead, this is gonna change the world. Whatever happens here in this incident, there is a reason why they're hyping it up to be like the big Egghead incident. So whatever happens here is going to be what causes the dominoes to fall for the rest of the final saga. So, and that's going to come with these answers. And I really can't wait. I
love it. I love it. Because I low-key have a theory. But I don't know. I feel like it might be truth now that Kuma's coming to Egghead and that he's going to like, I think he's going to take Saturn out of there. That's my thing. I just want to see it. It's not even like hit him and pop him out of there. Out of there. Yeah, be pull me, get out of here. That would be hilarious in my opinion.
I was gonna say, after you've been talking about how like you feel like Egghead really parallels parallels Savodi, you know? So
I've been talking about since the start of Egghead Island how everything with Egghead Island. If you want to know what happened with Egghead Island, we'll look at Saboti. Right. It's almost like a flip on Saboti, right? And I knew this ever since, because we have the manga, so there's proof out there. I knew it ever since. I knew Kizaru was gonna be in this chat. It was gonna come to Egghead. I don't know.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, Vegapunk is here. We're learning stuff about it and shit. And I was looking at the Pixies lights, and I was like, oh my god, wait, this gotta relate to Kizaru. And then three or four, I don't know how many chapters later, it was confirmed. Vegapunk used because I don't know what clicked in me because I went to look at Sabori clips and I was like, oh wait, the Pixies and Kizaru, they had the same sound effect when they used the light attack, and that could be just Toei shit, right? Yeah, it could be Toei shit. But then I was like, then they confirmed it. I was like, oh shit, this is crazy. And it's like they got Kuma, and it was because Vegapunk and Kuma were related. And I was like, oh, Vegapunk and Kuma were related because of the Pixies, because I feel like the Pixies and Sabori related to Vegapunk. That was Vegapunk's presence in Sabori, and even with whatchamacallit, Senamaru's like presence, I was like, Kizaru's got to be here, right? And I was like saying stuff. I was saying stuff. The straw, like Egghead Island, while it is crazy, the Straw Hats are gonna be flexing in the Egghead Island. This is gonna be the arc because it's like I feel like it's too soon to see the Straw Hats like not like struggle, but like like really get fucked up. You know what I mean? So
I got you.
And so it's like I don't want to see Kizaru get his ass whooped, but I feel like Luffy's gonna put that thing on him, bro, on some real shit. Yeah, like Luffy gonna cook. But I love your theory way more when it comes to like how it can affect the island, because I was even thinking about that, right? I don't know, that didn't even fucking cross my mind. But yeah, no, it's fucking insane, like thinking about everything. That's why I think Kuma's gonna come back, and he's either gonna save the Straw Hats or Vegapunk and get them out of there, or he's gonna hit the Marine out of there. Either or, I'll put money on it on that. But yeah. That's really I'll go for it.
I was gonna say, do you guys think that, because obviously Sabo is strictly stated that he needs to tell Vivi and Luffy about the information he got in the Reverie. So if Kuma's coming here, do you guys see a scenario where the Revolutionary Army pops up here too at Egghead?
Oh, you know what's funny? I made a joke about that on latest manga reading. I was like, yo, what if Kuma just came to where the Revolutionary Army at and just like Bob Dragon to meet Luffy, bro? So, yo, go talk to your son. But yeah, no, that's definitely a very interesting
I don't know. I feel like if the Revolutionary Army pulled up, it'd be like too many chefs with one pot, like there's already so much going on. If we throw the Revolutionary Army in the mix. Yeah, and then there's still the Blackbeard Pirates, which we don't know anything about what they're doing on Egghead Island. Like there's just so much going on. Like realistically, I feel like they'll probably meet up with the Revolutionary Army or Sabo or somebody from that side after the whole Egghead incident. But
I want to say
after Luffy beats Kizaru, Lafitte is gonna pop up. And,
I want to give credit to Matt, because before like there was anything going on, because I mean there was obviously hints of being a traitor in Vegapunk, right, which happened to be good, right. But before there was known anything, like not even Blackbeard being on Egghead, Matt was like, yo, that's probably Lafitte. And it's like
I hope to see him.
Yeah, and the fact that there's a Blackbeard ship and we haven't seen Lafitte yet, and it's like I was like, oh my god, that's like one of the most best age things Matt's ever said when it comes to One Piece. Like,
because Lafitte, it's like his entrance was so menacing, bro. Like he came in so quiet.
He broke into Mary Josie.
Man.
Yeah, he came in so quiet, so shifty, and then he's like, God.
Right.
I heard
he was in front of Mihawk, Dofi, and he had no fear. No fear. He was in control of that room, bro.
No one detected him too. No one detected him until he got into the room, because like everybody like even Sengoku was like, and Sengoku top of the class even still today was even like, and so that was like arguably Sengoku in his prime. Like I didn't even know he was there until like a few seconds. He was like, oh shit, which is amazing, bro. It's like what's a character like that, like just be on the sideline, which now hopefully not anymore.
Especially when we got to see like most of Blackbeard's crew, what they're able to do recently, with the whole Kobe and Pirate Island. So I can't wait to see what Lafitte's cooking with.
There's so much stuff with Egghead, bro. Because what I'm really looking forward to is how the Lucia accident is gonna affect the world.
Yes,
the whole high tide thing, like the water levels are rising. I just want to know more about it.
We don't even know how.
I feel like we're not even gonna like get there in a long time.
Yeah, and I'm excited for what's about to happen with Vivi too, because there's something big is about to happen here with Vivi. Yes, exactly right. With the bearer of big news, my boy, and it's like, what? I'm just with Vivi in particular, because obviously we expect her to rejoin at some point. It just makes me think like, is it going to happen at the end of this arc, or will that be dedicated to Vivi instead, going off and attempting to speak her truth to a bunch of, rather than just going through Big News Morgan, she herself goes and attempts to talk about the stuff that she saw in the Reverie to other people, because there's once this news get out of what happens on Egghead, everything's going to be turned upside down. And if Vivi starts revealing to the world that there is a king sitting on the throne that no one was expecting, like, yo, it's going to start really, really getting crazy.
Oh, right? She knows that because of Wapool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of information that she has that she could directly say herself. She doesn't even need to use Big News Morgan. Mm-hmm. But if she uses Morgan's, that goes all over the world in an instant. So we'll see.
That Wapool is still relevant. It's funny.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, that's funny because with Morgan, because I feel like Morgan is one of the most sleeper interesting characters in One Piece, because it's like, even I feel like, because number one, we were talking about it. How does Morgan have a camera in Mary Josie like that? Because Morgan had the transponder still to take a picture of what happened with Sabo. So I think it's a safe assumption to know Morgan knows what happened. Morgan knows. I feel like that's maybe not, right? But I feel like Morgan definitely knows what happened.
Took the photo of Gear 5 Luffy.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I think
go for it, Kyle.
I think after you had mentioned one time also that like his connections as a king of the underworld is really like influential in terms of
for sure,
what he can do and what he can see.
And not just that, and it's like he knows how to like he's very good at social manipulation, because Saturn looked at that article and he was like, oh, Morgan did a good job for us. Like, not to say that Saturn paid him off. He was like, oh shit, this article works in our favor. He's like, oh, good job, Morgan. Like, and it's like he can tell Morgan's like, because Morgan wants to play in the middle. He's a middle player, so it's just very interesting to see what Morgan does with Vivi, and if Vivi uses their connection to Morgan, right? And you brought up the Gorosei earlier, right, with Saturn. And I was like, something I've been talking about recently is that something, because you was talking about how you want to hear Saturn get more interactions, right? And I 100% agree. Mm-hmm. And something I want to know is, what is the Gorosei's morality? I don't understand the morals at the moment.
Yeah, because I feel like it flips. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, we don't want to screw over the people." Like when Emma was like, "Blow up Lucia," and they're like, "Whoa, can we just touch on the water?" And they're like, "No, Lucia's closest." But then when the Egghead, scientists were like running out, he's like, "Kill them all. They know too much. Get them out of here."
Right. No, and it's not just that. It was in Ohara also, because like they was crying when they had to kill the the lead geographer, right? They was crying at that shit, and it was like, bro. Like, I can't believe, and you know what's funny? They the Gorosei never ordered for everybody to die at Ohara. Like because they had a what's it called? Evacuation. They had people evacuate, right? Because it was like, oh, we're gonna let people evacuate. They're gonna release the buster call. And Akainu was the one that he went on his own free will to kill them people, because he's like, I just want to clean it up. Because the CP agents were like, what the fuck is going on? Aokiji was like, what the fuck is going on? So it's like, what is up with the Gorosei? It's like the best thing I can think is like the Gorosei treat humans like a zoo, or like a resort. Like, you know what I mean? They see it like, that's all I can think of. But I just want to know, like, are they victims? Are they the perpetrators? Like, why do they feel empathetic for people? But it's like, at the same time, they feel empathetic. They have those moments where they're like, oh shit, yo, they might be high key evil. I mean,
they're just ruthless out of nowhere.
I find it to be really interesting how that's explored through every character we've met in this arc that's a part of the world government, right? Where we saw with Lucci, the first interaction we saw with him in this arc was that he was conflicted. He didn't know about the Lelucia kingdom being wiped out. He was like, man, that's kind of weird. And they were telling him like, yo, just don't question it. But he was like, no, I gotta question it. And so we saw his internal conflict right there. Mm-hmm. Look at the admirals, man. I mean, Kizaru and Akainu in just the most recent chapters, we see how they are. I mean, Kizaru on full display. Like, I wish that you were. I wish that old friends, right, weren't on the list. Of me having to go in. Like, he's very conflicted. He obviously loves more old friends. Right. Yeah. And so Akainu, in the most recent chapter, even though he obviously still did the deed, he kept questioning Kuma, like, yo, why are you doing this? Like, it was almost like Akainu saying, I don't want to do this, Like why are you making me do this, Kuma? And it was so interesting. It's been so interesting throughout the course of this arc, seeing how, and even with Garp and Kobe and right, and like we're seeing all of the Marines and not just the Marines, the characters like the Gorosei as well, where these are individuals that are very, very conflicted right now. There's a lot of things that it makes it feel like, am I really on the right side of history right now? Is this really what I should be pursuing? And that's so interesting for that to be the first arc of the final saga where we're exploring stuff like that, considering that the Revolutionary Army hasn't even properly declared war yet to potentially turn even more. They don't even know about Emu yet. Yeah. Like it's there's so many things that can happen later on that I'm interested in seeing why Oda is putting all of these little pieces of conflict here now and where that's going to pay off later, because it feels like that's been such a consistent thing throughout the course of this arc.
I think the final saga is going to be real interesting because I think everyone, like in terms of factions, have like a vision of the world that they want to see come to fruition.
100%.
And I think that's going to come like into play in the final saga. People are going to have their own agendas, and some of them are going to clash with some of them aren't. Like you'll see very unlikely teams or alliances, and I think it'll be really fun to see.
Even on like a smaller scale with like Fujitora and Green Bull, because like I think Fujitora was trying to help the slaves on Mary Joa escape.
Definitely.
And then Green Bull's like, bro, why'd you do that, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Green Bull is funny because Green Bull is like the admiral that's like Akanu before pre-time skip, because Akanu was like fleet admiral like he's stressing right now. Akanu's like, bro, what the fuck am I doing, right? You can clearly see. And Green Bull is like what Akanu was, the guy that's like, oh, actually no, he's more than Akanu, because Akanu just does stuff by the books, right? Green Bull does the extra mile. Like Green Bull is putting in overtime. Like he didn't need to go to Wano. He was like, oh, I'm gonna clean up Wano. You know what I mean? Right. Like we haven't seen an admiral move like that specifically, right? But while we have you here, I want to ask since we're talking about what we want for the future of One Piece, do you have like any outlandish theories, like anything like crazy, like people will like laugh if you said it type shit?
Oh man, dude. So I ever since the Roger chapter dropped, he laughed. When that chapter dropped, I was like, the reason why Roger and them are laughing is because they're reading something they can't comprehend. They're reading something that they can't understand, because what they're hearing about is stuff like Joy Boy talking about flying cars and giant robots and the future. And that was before this Egghead stuff. And now I'm doubling down on that, where I'm like, when we get to that Joy Boy flashback and we see like what he actually told them, we're going to look at a whole bunch of those of the things with Joy Boy up until this point, and be like, man, that's why Roger was laughing. They couldn't. I think that's why when Rayleigh told Robin and them, like, even if you go right now, you won't really understand, like, because it's just, how can you like think about it for us, right? In our time, if we were born in the 1500s and someone were to tell us, yo, in the future they're gonna have these PS5s and we're gonna be able to talk to each other through Discord and read stuff instantaneously, I can see something happening as it's happening across the world. We'd be like, yo, you crazy? What? Like, yo, that's some voodoo stuff. I don't know what that is. Like,
you're a witch.
You're a witch, right? And it's like, right. And so in that sort of in that same type of way, that's how I see it for One Piece, where Roger and them, they must have been like, man, this guy's crazy. Is like, what's wrong with them? And I feel like Luffy and them are going to arrive to a different conclusion because of that whenever they arrive. Because they're like, oh, no way, they've gone through the Egghead stuff. They've gone through a journey with Vegapunk. They understand more. They're going to have Robin, who is going to have a greater understanding, obviously, of all of the stuff that was there. And so when they read the Joy Boy story, they might not come out of it laughing, because I think Joy Boy's story is going to be the most tragic story in the entire series. And so coming out of that, I would love for them to have the iconic he laughed for them as well. But Man, I don't know, dude. I don't know if Joy Boy's story is gonna be a he laughed type of story. It feels like that might be the difference where Roger and them laughed because they couldn't understand. We might actually understand it, and that might lead it to us crying whenever we read Joy Boy's story. And so it'll lead to an actual literal different conclusion where the Straw Hats come out of Joy Boy's story and they completely understand what happened because they have the context that the Roger Pirates did not have. And they will be able to, like Rayleigh said, come to a different conclusion than they did. And it's just, what is that gonna serve for the stuff in the Final Saga? I'm not sure, but ever since that chapter dropped, and now that we're on Egghead, I just stopped thinking about that, because this entire journey, we have been told how both of these, the Roger Pirates and the Straw Hat Pirates, continued parallels. They went to the same places. So many things that they did very, very similarly. At some point, there's going to be a major difference, and I feel like that major difference might be when they arrive there on Laugh Tale and read Joy Boy's story. I'm not saying that it's going to be a really, that it's not, they're not going to have their he laughed moment and stuff. They're obviously going to have a lot of fun. It's One Piece. When they read Joy Boy's story, I fully expect an Odin type of reaction, where we remember how the Straw Hats felt in chapter 920, coming off of listening to the Odin story that we didn't hear for about 40 chapters. Yeah. They were crying. Luffy was crying. Nami, Sanji, everybody was like, "Yo, what?" Like, he was that guy. I feel like a similar thing's gonna happen with Joy Boy, where either they laugh out of respect, where like they're laughing but they're crying at the same time. So like it'll be kind of like the Odin thing, where in Odin's flashback there was a moment where Odin wrote in narration that, we're manly men, we would never cry for when Roger left. And you just see everyone crying when Roger left, but in the narration it was different because Odin was trying to set that precedent. Like, of course we would never cry for something like that. And I feel like the Finding the One Piece is going to be just like that, where the characters are either going to A, literally cry whenever they hear Joy Boy's story, or B, they're going to laugh, but as they're laughing, just out of respect for Joy Boy, they're going to try their hardest to laugh because he is the Joy Boy, and he's trying to make this a funny story. But they're going to read between the lines and understand how tragic it is. They're going to be in tears. And so it might be the saddest moment. Who knows? but that's a theory I've always had,
bro.
No, I like that theory a lot, and it's like I'm going back to, because I love talking about, because like I said, like rewatching Skypiea, it opened my brain when it comes to One Piece now, because I got questions like specifically like what were the Skypieans, because I'm pretty sure what happens to Skypieans, like the Shandorians were Skypieans also, right? Or not Skypieans, but like kind of related. You had the Shandorians, the Skypieans, and where Enno was from, I forget what they were called. If you remember, I appreciate it, but it's all good. But and they all came from the moon and came down. But it's like the Shandorians and the Skypieans, I'm pretty sure they was both protecting Poneglyphs, right? Because these are societies that were untouched by the world government. I mean, obviously, because Shandorians got, like, they would have been touched by the world government if it wasn't for, that explosion happening and for sending them up, right? So it's like, how does that come to play? And it's like, Enno's gonna be a part of that because Enno's on the moon, so Enno's gotta come back and that shit. But that's just something I've been thinking about recently when it comes to like going back at it, because now we know how technologically advanced One Piece was. Like, what was happening back then?
Exactly.
It's like what was happening? Like what? And it's like what were the Skypieans and Dora, like what were they doing? It's like they still were advanced, right? They had dials, which were interesting, but it's like when you see Vegapunk's like, bro, I didn't even scratch the surface of what happened. It's like, bro, what the fuck? My fault, Matt. You want to go?
Bro, I just wanted to sit on what he said for a second, bro. Like, I was expecting something silly and goofy, and I'm here freaking sentimental and hopeful, bro. Like, that really got me, bro. Like, really thinking, I was like, damn. Like that was
I feel bad because my crazy theories only go as far as evil Shanks, bro.
Evil Shanks, dude. Listen, man, because I'm a massive Shanks fan, so I don't care what Shanks ends up being in the future, but as long as the aura is there, the Shanks aura is there, I don't care if he's a good guy, a bad guy, or neutral. As long as the Shanks aura is there, I'm cool. Evil Shanks, let's go.
Not gonna lie, ever since the buggy flashback with him looking back at Shanks, and it's like, why are you not going to the King of the Pirates? I've been like, not looking at Shanks side-eyed, but I think that chapter opened up why Shanks would never become will never be on that throne. But it's like, I don't know. It goes back to like dream. Like Shanks is not a dreamer. He's a planner. He's like he's like the FBI low key because you know he's you know what I mean. Like he's like the CIA. Like he's like I feel like Shanks, while he's happy and everything, he's more realistic than a dreamer. Like he supports dreamers. I feel like he's trying to elevate dreamers, being the stepping stool for dreamers. You know what I mean? That's why he doesn't mind Luffy having, because Shanks knew what he gave Luffy. We know damn well Shanks knew what the fuck he gave. Sure. He was like, you know what? I believe in Luffy. I want to see how far he can go. You know what I mean? And even if he becomes an obstacle, right? I don't think Shanks will be an obstacle in a sense where it's like, I'm trying to get in your way. It's more so it's like, if you can't beat me, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? I feel like that's like how you be an obstacle. Because I don't think, because if Shanks wanted to be the Pirate King, even Buggy was like, bro, why are you not Pirate King? Yep. Why do you want to become Pirate King now? Especially when I'm winning. So he's like, you know, fuck this shit, bro. Which is very interesting about Shanks, bro. Very amazing character. I love it.
Me too, man. And you know, the Figureland reveal, it feels like it's gonna add a lot more layers, right? Because
I mean, it's kind of confirmed already, but who knows?
Right. Well, yeah, you're right. I feel like it is. So so going off, you know, whatever the Shanks is to Garlic, the fact that he's still a member of that family means we're looking at a celestial dragon, Shanks. And to me, it's so interesting because that's like Sanji's story times 10, where we're gonna be looking at a character like Shanks, who is currently defying his destiny, his supposed fate, to be someone extreme. I'm going to assume if Shanks would be under the WG right now, he would have been like the top member of the Holy Knights. Yeah, no question. 100%. So it's 100%. Like the fact that he said, "I don't want to do that. I want to follow in Roger's footsteps and be my own man." That's what it means to be a pirate. And I can't wait to go through his story and see that explored. Where when does he find out that he's a member of the Celestial Dragons? And does that impact why he believes he can't go after the One Piece? Does he believe he doesn't deserve it? Does he believe that, like, knowing maybe he knows the truth about the past, is like, oh, someone like me can't possibly do that? Like, I want to know what is conflicting Shanks to the point to where he did not go after it until now. Yeah. Like, I want to know so much. He's such an interesting...
You know what? Now that you brought that up, I think this is a dumbass thing for me to say, but it's just like a thought that come to my head. What if, like, Doflamingo is low-key the evil version of Shanks? Like, instead of, because, you know, like, Shanks wants to be the help out. Like, he's still interacting with the Gorosei, right? Mm-hmm. What if Doflamingo was, like, the evil side? It's like, I just want to see chaos, but I'm going to still be there. Like, you know, he's going to still be interacting with celestial dragons, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. Because he even said that, like, when he was chained up, the world government does not want me speaking. They don't want me speaking. And it's like, high key, for what we know, everything about Doflamingo, what would Doflamingo say that we know of him right now that would be interesting? And in my personal opinion, of what we know about him, nothing. Which makes the mystery so intriguing. Like, oh, what the fuck does Doflamingo know also that he's keeping away? You know what I mean? Because there's no one. Because Doflamingo is not speaking hot air. Doflamingo speaks with purpose. All right. Yeah. Every time he talks, like even that Doflamingo, I think justice was defined by Doflamingo in this. It was justice always been a thing. Like defined, like especially in Annie's lobby, right? But when Doflamingo really put in perspective, looking at Marineford, he was like that was when it's like, yeah, justice is not about. It's about the winner, and that's it. It's about a winner, and it's like. Yep. Bro, he's got to know something, but
he defined it. He was probably talking about how the world government became justice after they won, like 800 years ago. You know, like because he probably knows, man. Bro, Dofi's knowledge goes so deep that he talked about the national treasure in the Marijoa that we assume is either Emu, this giant straw hat, or whatever it is. Regardless. Dofi knows that. That's crazy to me, bro.
People would usually die knowing that.
You feel me? Like, and that's crazy. Dofi's amazing. He's a great character.
Crazy, amazing character. Yeah.
I can't wait for Info Down Part 2 when he gets released. then it's really going down, bro.
Yes. Do you think he's joining Cross Guild?
Oh, that'd be sick.
Okay. we was talking about this, right? And if Doflamingo escapes, that's 100%. But it's like for me personally, I like watching Impel Down. I'm a huge Magellan fan. Like if Impel Down, there's a like crazy. I either just want Doflamingo to escape, and not because there's anything wrong with Magellan like getting fucked over, right? But it's just like I feel like Magellan. I've never seen like a more menacing villain than Magellan in One Piece, bro. And that shit was just amazing watching because no one had an answer for him to the point where even Blackbeard, and this is the same Blackbeard that scratched Shanks' eye. You know what I mean? Still, like took down Ace. And I feel like, and I understand people debate about Ace's strength, but I feel like if we think about like Ace, like now when hockey's more defined, he would still be up there. You know what I mean? Ace would still be up there. Right. But it's like he took down Blackbeard with just one attack, and it's like I really want to see a character like that. Will not thrive, but do something else in a story. And if you just got washed just for Doflamingo to get out, I wouldn't be disappointed, but I'd be like, damn.
No,
you know what I mean?
I need to see Doflamingo turn Magellan and let him join him.
Yo, dude, that'd be hype.
Yeah, it would be. That would be. All right.
Wow.
Do you have any? What's up?
I feel full, bro. This is a full conversation.
Yeah, yeah, we cooked.
This is a fulfilling conversation, bro.
No, it's crazy because now like my head's swirling because like I just want to go back to like your theory, Recon, about like the whole Straw Hats crying while like laughing because when you said that instantly made me think of the Smile Fruits and like especially because that last episode of Wano, you know, watching them like cry like that, and I'm just like, whoa, could that be like a possible connection? Like, is that why like? You know, because one thing that I know, it's not just me, a lot of people, they say about Wano, it's like, why didn't like Chopper or Marco or any of the doctors there, why didn't they do anything about the people affected by the Smile Fruits? And maybe that'll like tie in later on, like maybe like it goes deeper than just Wano, because again, that ties back to Doflamingo, who we were just talking about, knows a lot of things, and he's making these Smile Fruits, so maybe there's just more there that we'll see later on, and my head's spinning right now, it's crazy.
True. No, that's a great point. And like tapping into your Smile Fruit thing, one of the reasons why Luffy Kaido, as it was going on, was so special is you kept seeing these hints that Kaido wanted to become Joy Boy, and it's like when you see the Smile Fruits, he was literally trying to force people to do what Luffy was doing to people. Like Luffy makes people laugh. He just being him, and Kaido with Orochi utilizing Smile Fruits forced people to laugh against their will, and it was
I didn't even think about that.
It was just so interesting how the Smile Fruit was brought into at the beginning of Punk Hazard. Obviously, that was the beginning of the whole Wano saga. We're introduced to Kinemon and Momonosuke, so we knew it was gonna have an importance. I just didn't know it could have endgame importance like that. That's so cool.
Nah, your
cool.
theory, bro. I didn't even like, because number one, like the fact that you said that, because you know, like usually people have crazy theories, so it's like this. I love it, right? But the fact that you like Kaido's like literally just trying to be Joy Boy in the worst way possible. It's like, whoa, I didn't even think about it, because I mean, it's obvious, right? But the Smile Fruit, it's like, oh, because why the hell is he like having Doflamingo mass produce Smile Fruits?
Exactly.
Why? There's literally no reason. He's just like, y'all gonna be smiling now, bro. Like, no, that's insane. And even if Kaido wasn't even doing it, still narratively it fits though. Like, it's
exactly.
Oh damn,
bro. The Smile Fruits are so important, bro. Like everything that ties with the Smile Fruits is crazy. Like these scientists that made them. Like who are the big scientists right now, bro? Freaking Caesar, Judge, Vegapunk, one of the best scientists of all time, and they got Caesar making these freaking demonic fruits, bro. I just, it's a lot. And then this plot point also got tied back in the live action with freaking Buggy. I don't know if anybody knows that with how Buggy was forcing people to laugh and smile. That's stuff, bro. When I saw that, I'm like, damn, he's doing the same things as the Smile Fruits. I couldn't really say anything, but
you know what's funny? Like, I don't know, it's like this is something stupid, because it was like I was on Reach Piece. I forget we were talking about episode characters wanting to come back, because I feel like smiling in One Piece is just a really important thing. Like if somebody's always constantly smiling, that's an importance, right? And I was thinking about that little girl from 1 to 7. I forget, like the granny.
Yeah, Chimney.
Yeah, Chimney. I don't know why I like watching it because I'm rewatching it, right? Watching it again, I'm like, bro, I feel like Chimney's coming back just because of the sole fact that I don't know. I like not knowing who Joy Boy is and everything. She kind of resembles Joy Boy because she was rebellious. She moved to the own beat of her drum. She was always smiling constantly. She was even there helping Luffy get to like through all this shit. And I'm like, I feel like that's a very important either that or it's just Oda's like you said artists will always or a writer will always write what they want to write, and Chimney kind of represents what Oda writes. But it's like just seeing shit like that about people smile like. I don't know why. It's just more meaningful now whenever somebody got that constant joy in One Piece. I don't know why, but that just made me thought of that thought though.
Yeah, that's dope. I never really thought about that possibility because that's so true. Chimney does act like a Yasue in Wano. Like they're very similar. They're always smiling, willing to be helpful no matter what. No matter what.
Even to the point because the grandma was holding Chimney back though too, because he was like, "Why are you not with Iceberg?"
Right.
Yeah, go for it. My fault.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was done. Like, that's just a really interesting observation.
Bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, geez.
Such a great character.
This was really fulfilling. Like, I just want to say, I really appreciate your love for One Piece, man, because it's coming from such a genuine place, and it's refreshing for me to hear because I'm on Twitter all the time, and I don't like using Twitter to represent how people think about a manga because, like I said, it's ESPN. People are just having fun, you know what I mean? And in my opinion, I don't really judge people based off of that because in my opinion, I think people are just having fun saying stupid shit. Because I do the same thing. Like if you see, bro, when Kobe broke that block, I was sitting here saying, bro, he had Garp's help. Get him out of here, bro. Like I'm a troll, right? 1,000%. Right. But it's so refreshing to hear somebody speak from a loving place of One Piece at the moment right now, because the more popular a series gets, the more noise about it from everybody comes, and it's like when a series gets that noise, that means it's alive. It's that's true. The harp is pumping, so I deep down appreciate it, but it's hard to see the genuine love people have for this series, right? So it's so refreshing to hear you talk about this because the way he talked about, because with Luffy Kizaru, it's Admiral Agenda. Is it over? Mm-hmm. No, he's just I just want to see Kizaru awaken. I was and how it affects the island. I'm like, bro, I didn't even think of that, bro. What the fuck, yo? And that's insane. That's what I'm saying. I just appreciate your perspective on shit. It's amazing, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all, man. This was an awesome time. The in regards to that Luffy Kizaru thing, it's been around for so long. Right, I've been in the community for so long, and the whole Admiral versus Yonko thing has been going on for such a long time that seeing it happen before my eyes, an actual fight between two of them, has just it's been a ton of fun. Seeing how people from both sides of the community are reacting to it, even though this week I didn't get the opportunity to see what others were thinking about it, but when it was initially revealed, I just saw a bunch of people hyping it up, our side or their side or whatever it is. It's similar to it's kind of like the Shanks Mihawk thing or Zoro Sanji. It's always taking sides, but just in my regard, it's always whatever's more interesting in regards to the story. It's just when it comes to One Piece, I consume this differently than I do other pieces of media. Where for whenever I wouldn't necessarily say all that, but on a weekly basis, this just it means so much to me that the moment that I go in there to read a new chapter, I'm just so excited to see what's happening next. It's especially with how good Egghead is, I don't care what Oda puts on the page, man. It's gonna be good. As I've seen throughout the arc, the man could do whatever he wants, could go wherever he wants, and it's just gonna be cooking at the highest level. And so, because I'm such a massive Luffy fan and a Gear 5 fan, seeing that in action against Kizaru, that's just the most hype stuff ever, man. It's a lot of fun. But I appreciate y'all so much, man. Thank you so much for having me.
I wanted to know his thoughts on hosting the Reverie.
True. We gotta talk about that. We gotta,
because that was a big event, man.
Dude, you know something? I still can't believe it happened. It's one of those to where whenever you're starting off and doing the whole YouTube thing, you never think you're gonna be able to get to a point to where you can host the biggest events in the community. And I remember when we first did our very first Reverie and they told me about the concept, the idea. I thought it was so cool, and I've been at the very least involved in every single one except for the first one, and it's always a good time. I love so many different people in this community that I've had the opportunity, the blessings to be able to speak with them, and to not only be a part of another one, especially where we are right now, but to be the host, of the Reverie before the live action, the Reverie before One Piece came back from 1 month break, the Reverie before the anime hit Gear 5. It was just such a special experience where I was finally able to talk to so many people I love, because we only really get an opportunity to connect every so often. Even though we all have so much love for each other, we're obviously not able to be together for a long time. So whenever we're able to have, where it's all of us, not just some of us, all of us, communicating about this series, it was the biggest honor, and I thank my boy Jay for helping me throughout the process of creating the everything that we were doing for the Reverie, hosting, helping me. Every previous host reached out and helped me, from my boy Cole to Roger to Brago.
Dr. Roger.
Everyone reached out and helped me out in some way, shape, or form, and that was just because I've known those guys for so long. Them coming with that energy of just whatever you need, we're here for you. That meant the world to me. And
That's awesome.
And so just hosting the Reverie, dude, I still think about it every now and then. I'm like, did we really do that? That's crazy.
Nah, you really had to spear bomb.
Right. It really was. It really was, man.
Your intros for the Reverie were amazing.
Yeah.
I was listening to
appreciate
intros, and the way you introduced people was spot on, right? You really captured their character.
It's because I'm fans, man. Like before anything else, I'm a fan and a friend of everyone that I had there. So like I wanted everyone that was there to not only get their piece off of like whatever their thing is, talk about that on a big stage, but also because I love this community so much. I just wanted it to be a celebration. I was like, yo, I want to hype up my people. And I don't care if we got to spend 30 minutes doing it.
Yes,
I'm not going to the top alone. You feel me? I'm bringing my people with me. So I got to hype them up, man.
Bro,
I love these people.
I can't lie, bro. I'm low-key tearing up hearing you talk right now, bro. It's like, I feel
that was me 5 minutes ago, bro.
Like, I'm not even lying. Because it's like, bro, like, because this is how I feel with these, though. Because it's like we do stupid shit intro. I remember like one time like we just literally sung happy birthday to Kyle for 5 minutes. Bro, one time, bro, here we go. Like one time we was doing an intro, and before we read a manga chapter, we got into a 30-minute argument about Blackbeard for no reason and made that a separate YouTube video. Like dead ass, bro. And it's like how you talking about just like hyping people up, wanting to bring everybody here. Like that's like, bro, like it's been a minute since I heard like a YouTuber like talk like that, bro. Cause like, I'm not here dissing anybody, cause I listen, I just think platforms update with time, you know what I mean? It's a new medium, it's a new form of like consumption of content creation. So I respect that all forms of content creation. I don't mind, right? But you don't got that old authentic YouTube love, bring everybody here, let's just have a blast. Like, cause I grew up with that Minecraft shit, like cops and robbers and everything. Like everybody getting the homies there, right? So how you talking about just having everybody's back, hyping them up, just everybody getting their piece off about One Piece? Like, I don't know, that shit low key got me emotional because that's what I strive for on some real shit. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what we all strive for, honestly.
Right. That's what this channel's built off of, bro. It's just
having
fun times with the bros, bro, and seeing where it goes.
Because I remember when I was watching like the first Reverie I watched. Before that, I was watching like all of them separately. Like I was watching fucking Brago, King of Lightning, Tekken, Roger, bro.
And
who else? Jay. I was watching Jay, and then I found out there was a stream where all of them were talking together. I was like, "What the fuck?" I didn't even know they knew each other. I was like,
"I'm like, this is the biggest crossover ever."
Yeah, dude. That's how it was. I'll tell you on the other side of things, as on the YouTuber side of things, it was so cool because I remember Brago had Cole, Sawyer, and Roger on a random stream. It was during Whole Cake Island, and Roger was like, "Yo, we gotta make this a thing. Like we gotta make this into the Reverie." And I remember I was in the comments hyping it up, like, "Bro, we gotta do this. Like, y'all don't get it, man. We have to do this." And so eventually, Roger created the idea. Brago and Roger created the idea for the first Reverie, and ever since then we've been doing it. But it's like even whenever we all what's that called? Even though we do collaborate, the opportunity to get us all together never happens.
Mm-hmm.
There's either scheduling issues, that there's time zones.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the things that I was struggling with, time zone. And so just having, like you said, you're getting the Yonko together, Cole, Tekking, Roger, Brago, Jay, like my people, and they're all in the call at the same time. That's just, and you're telling me we have like 13 of these things or reveries. It's like, it's so cool. I don't really see, I mean, I'm involved in a lot of video game stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen another community bring people together like this. It's really something special in the way that the One Piece community does it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The only time I've seen something like that was like was Minecraft, bro. So it's like, it's not like communities don't interact, but it's like they're not together. You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
right.
I feel like even on One Piece Twitter, it's like you recognize people, bro. Like you recognize like you got 5 One Piece accounts in your mind. One Piece like everybody's just, I don't even care if it's Flame Wars or nothing. It's the fact that it's like everybody's interacting and shit like that. And it's just like I love that shit no matter what.
Even if I get annoyed at people, who Dio is, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No,
hey, shout out to my boy.
No, because don't get me wrong, I be getting mad at people because I get easily annoyed. So I 100% been pissed off at everybody at a second, bro. I don't care, right? But like, oh no, I just appreciate this like energy that it has, bro. You know what I mean? Like I love it. I love it so much, you know?
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And to host that shit, that's insane, bro. You know, that's insane.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
My last.
Go ahead.
What were the emotions before and after when hosting the Reverie?
Oh man, yo, building up to it was like, I've been nervous. I don't know if I've been that nervous, and it was it's crazy because doing this YouTube thing for a long time, you're like, yeah man, I got it. We're good. And as the days were rolling by, from the moment I was told, I was like, what? wait, hold on, what's going on? But the 2 weeks leading up to it, because I had to keep, it was like a month where I had to keep this to myself. I couldn't tell anyone. All I wanted to do was tell my community. So when I finally got the opportunity to tell the community, it was like a massive thing off my chest because I didn't have to hide it anymore. And sending out the invites, getting everyone in there, that was the easy part. The hardest part was balancing that. And I was like, okay, how do I get, now that I have this list of people who are going to be here, I spent a couple of days leading up to it, getting together with some of the other YouTubers. We're like, okay, so we're going to structure it like this, because I had all the ideas. I wanted to make sure that, like I said earlier, everyone had their time to shine. And I made my stuff, like the structure for the day, based on that. Because I know some are going to really cook during the Straw tier list. Others are going to cook during the theory stuff. Others are going to cook during the quiz. Like, I tried to make sure everybody was there for their stuff, the stuff they're passionate about. And so leading up to that, I was really nervous because I was like, am I gonna be able to match time zones? Is my internet gonna be able to handle this?
That's the scariest part. That's the
you feel me?
Part.
You feel me? So it's like my internet, because that day it was storming here. As a matter of fact, during the Reverie, my power went out. My power went out once during the Reverie, but it came back in time. So it was crazy, man. So it's like leading up to it, all of those nerves were hidden. And not only just the nerves, the memories. Bro, I've been with the One Piece community now for so long. Just seeing people's names leading up to the Reverie had me emotional. I was like, this is happening. Like, this is actually happening. But when the event finished, and after we had our post-Reverie discussion conversation, and I went down late in bed, and the following day, I was just in a daze because I planned something in my mind, and similar to writing, it did not go according to plan in the best way possible because everyone cooked. And I told this to everyone from Volume 1 to Zach to Cole to when I reached out to everyone, when Parvision, when I reached out to everybody after it, and I thanked them. I said, thank you for cooking because you made my job easy. Like all I had to do was sit back and watch because they brought their A game. You could tell the 1 month break had everyone itching to talk about One Piece.
Yes, sir.
Because it was like it went way better than I could have ever imagined. And so like before, a lot of nerves. After, I had because I was sitting in a chair for like 12 hours straight. My body had to reacclimate. So it was a little crazy. But man, just gratitude after that. A lot of gratitude. So from nerves to gratitude is the answer for that right there.
Beautiful, honestly.
That was well put.
Well, okay, so I got a really left field question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I see you got Fly Eagles Fly in your bio, man.
Ooh.
How far y'all think you're going this year?
Crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I say this every year, so don't take it hard. But we're winning it all. All right. Like let me tell you something. Every year.
I'm not gonna say anything because I'm a Giants fan, and I can't say anything because we got to ask what. But yeah, all right, man.
Yeah, no, listen. I can't stand the Cowboys. I don't know if anybody in here is a Cowboys fan.
Oh no, my dad's a huge Cowboys fan.
Okay.
Even though we're from Jersey, my dad's a huge Cowboys fan.
Right, yeah. See, I as long as the Cowboys don't win, we're good. But what's that called? With the Eagles, on a serious note, last year, if our defense was a little better in that second half, we would have won that game. And I think our team understands that. So this year, you can just see it. You see the energy on D and on offense where they're on a mission. And even if we win these games in an ugly way, we're gonna win these games.
I know, bro. I was talking to my dad about the last game. He's like, bro, the Eagles look mad fucking sloppy, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's ugly. It's ugly, but I'll tell you what, the old Eagles would have lost. We would be 0-2 right now.
Not
the
wrong.
fact that we're 2-0 tells me we're a different team. Because normally when we get sloppy, if it was the old Eagles and the Vikings caught up to us and it was 24-27, we lose that game. 100%. 100%. Because we won that game, I was like, nah, man, this might be our year. It's gonna be tough. Obviously, the AFC is really strong on the other side of things, but even in the NFC, our division, if it's anywhere near last year, it was a tough division, man.
No, last year was insane.
It was
last
insane.
Year was insane. Yeah,
the Giants were great. The Cowboys were great.
For
once
in a
man,
while.
this is crazy. Right. So it's like
the Cowboys are still good.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
but it's like I believe we can come out of the NFC. So there is a possibility that we definitely can. The problem is going to be when we face that AFC team. And the 49ers obviously are really good over in the NFC. They might be the best team right now. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
But if we make it to the Super Bowl and we face that AFC team, that's going to be the test. Like, there's so many good AFC teams.
Right.
But man, yeah, we're going all the way. We're going all the way, baby.
Wait, I know it's crazy because sports all about. So, are you from Philly or South Jersey, or you just decided to be an Eagles fan?
Dude, I when I moved down here because I stay in Florida, and and when I moved down here, obviously it's a big football place.
Yeah.
And I remember first football game I ever watched. I turned it on Monday Night Football, and it's the Eagles. I think they were playing the Raiders. Yeah. And I just thought the helmet the vibe, they looked so cool that from that moment on, I was like, I'm an Eagles fan. And we're here like 20 something years later. That's my team.
I'm a fan of two football teams. Giants because I'm from Jersey, so it's like you're either a Giants, Jets, or Eagles fan, or Cowboys because Cowboy fans are all over the America, right? Like they're a parasite. But I got one in my house. But but 49ers because when I was at church, I met a 49ers legend called Merton Hanks. He was a safety. Dope. Yeah. He won 2 Super Bowls with the 49ers. He had 3 Pro Bowls and everything. I was like, oh shit, I want to be a 49ers fan. So, it's kind of painful, but but we still in it though. We still in it. Still in it.
Oh no, bro. Listen, man. What's that called? The Giants, they've come back from worse. Y'all be good. As long as you guys don't let that loss define you, man.
That loss was ugly.
It was ugly. It was really ugly. It was really ugly.
40-0.
But they could use that as fuel to never lose like that again. So let's see what they do.
All I'm saying, you right, but the Giants usually, we got low morale over here, man. I ain't gonna even front, bro. It's very, bro. Because think about it, the Jets suck. Like they've always sucked. But they're still more popular than the Giants over here. Like, why does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But especially this year.
But my fault for turning into football.
No, dude, that was great. I mean, listen, I love sports. That's
wait. Okay. Wait, do you follow basketball or no?
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Who you follow?
Bro, so because I stay so close to the Heat, I support the Heat in mind, right? Like I especially when Braun was there, and Wade, because Wade's one of my all-time favorite players. Yeah. So I absolutely love that team, but in my heart, I'm always rooting for the 76ers. I'm always rooting for the 76ers.
Wait, wait, are you from Philly and moved to Florida, or are you just like a Philly guy?
No, I'm just a Philly guy. Like, because we have origins there from our family, so I have a lot of love there, and there's, but also it's when I was growing up, man.
Enemy.
Kobe and AI were them. So like when I saw AI. I was like, I'm a 76ers guy, that's my boy. So,
how did you feel in that 2019 playoffs, bro? Is this the dagger?
No, King, if you don't know, you're here with 2 Toronto residents right now. So.
Oh, I see. I see. No, listen, man. When Kawhi hit that shot, I was at work.
We was in BC,
and I was in so much pain. I was in so much pain.
Opposite for me. I was like, "This is it. Finally, it's happening. It's happening."
Listen, I'm really happy for y'all though, bro. Like,
thank you, man. Thank you.
That was a really special. That was a really special run. Like,
that was
at the beginning of the year, when Kawhi joined, everybody was like, "Oh, it's the Raptors. They're not gonna do nothing." And for them to actually win it. Against Golden State. Now, granted, there were some injuries. I don't care. Y'all did it against Golden State. Y'all did it against Golden State, bro. Like,
it's crazy.
Massive
too,
props.
It was like the Raptors year because LeBron out. Like,
the stars aligned that year. I'm telling you.
It was like perfect, man.
I never felt so much magic condensed.
Facts.
That's funny, you a Philly guy, because it's like all my teams are all like enemies of Philly, New Jersey Nets, bro. I mean, Giants, all that stuff. My uncle is also like a huge Philly fan because they're from South Jersey, so it's like if you know anything about Jersey, South Jersey, Philly, North Jersey, New York, that type shit. But that's funny.
And it's crazy because before I came down here, I lived in New York. I'm a big Yankees fan.
That's funny. That's funny.
But that makes it even funnier.
Yeah, because anybody else in baseball hates the Yankees, bro.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? When I was a kid and I followed baseball, I was a Yankees and a Red Sox fan. I just like David Ortiz.
I've never heard that. That is interesting.
Yeah. No, I was a little bit dumb though, so I wasn't like following, but I was like, I love baseball, and I was like, I love David Ortiz. I love David.
Oh man,
I didn't even know what I was saying, bro. I actually talked to a Red Sox fan. It's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
No, how dare you?
Well, real quick before we get back to basketball, do you guys watch European football, soccer at all? Does anybody watch soccer?
I watched only this year just because I wanted to get on the hype with Messi and Ronaldo.
I got you.
Bro.
I got you.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
I only know about it
like,
because
I follow
my
it
dad
very
follows
vividly.
it. But
Okay, yeah. So in my house, that's the number one sport. We follow that. I think the Eagles. It's tough. Eagles and Manchester United are like the teams I follow the most. I'm a big Man United fan.
I know. I'm friends with a lot of you Manchester United.
Crazy.
And apparently, like I heard they're mid right now, or they were.
They
mid
are.
last year.
They are both last.
It's all about City now.
that's
Oh,
what
it
I
is.
was saying. Bro.
City's top one, and they're the Warriors. They're the Golden State Warriors, right? Like they're filthy. But I love that team so much. I watch those games. I don't care where I am. I'll watch them in the car. I'll listen to them. I'll watch them. I really love United, and so what I was trying to get to with that is going back to basketball. Because United sucks, now I have to look to basketball for some brighter days.
Damn.
So and football, right? So it's like
basketball might not be the way for you.
I was
Bro.
about to say that. Like I don't. This year's gonna be really toxic as a 76ers
Miami
fan.
and 70, both of them,
and
bro.
Miami.
Yo, imagine
Yeah.
being in Chicago and following Chicago sports teams, bro.
That's true.
I wish I was born in the '90s, bro. I could taste a win every now and then, bro.
It's funny because for me with sports, like the reason why I watched soccer was because like the GOAT conversation was huge this year because it was Messi Ronaldo's last one, and the reason also why I was watching is because I've never rolled LeBron's dick until this year. Like I'm not gonna front with you. I to this year I don't know what happened. What clicked in my mind. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna become the biggest LeBron fan for no reason. I was like, fuck it, why not, bro? Right? Most fun I've ever had in my life. I'm not gonna lie. Most fun watching every Lakers game was amazing because what they did, even though they didn't win, was something special. Going from 2-14 to being the best Western team. I mean, post tied with the Nuggets post All-Star break, right? And making it to the conference finals. And those conference finals games,
they were crazy.
I swear to God, Jamal Murray, oh my God, bro. Yo, that shit was every shot. And it's like the fact that the Lakers kept it close. I wasn't that bummed out. I was like, because that was fun. Because all I care about is fun basketball. And it's like, for me being a Nets fan also, though, I was there when Kevin Durant was against the Bucks, bro. I was there. I was there in the arena, bro. And you know what's funny? I was only there for the wins, bro. The only time they lost, I was in Georgia. I was in Georgia when they lost, bro. I was in Georgia. Oh my God, like it was insane, man. But that's cool as fuck.
With you on LeBron, I think the coolest thing about basketball is because I have this a lot. I've always had this, where I feel like my favorite players, more often than not, play for another team. Yeah. And I end up watching a lot of their games. So like similar to you, I watch almost every LeBron game. I love LeBron. Yeah, I love Luka. I love Giannis.
Whoa, Luka!
I love Luka. I love Giannis. I love Curry.
Ooh.
Like,
we got a Giannis hater here.
So it's like I'll tune. That's the great thing about basketball. It's such a star-centered sport where I can tune into a game and I get so much enjoyment out of it, even if I'm not a fan of the team, because of the stars. And that was showcased in the playoffs last year, like you said. And Jamal Murray, God, bro, that man was cooking.
I'm so glad he came back. Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so like Jamal Murray. Like, if anything, I was low-key rooting the Nuggets because Jamal Murray needed a run back from after all the injuries, after being that 2020 playoffs. Man, he needed that run back. But it's funny also because what was I gonna say? Oh fuck, I forgot again. I forgot. Never mind. Shit. I'm gonna try to reload in like 2 minutes. If it is what it is. I had something to do with that. Nope, it's not coming back. Never mind. No. Okay, I was gonna talk about how like I love how NBA, like, while it is a star-centered sport, there's still people that like show up, right? Because like Austin Reeves, bro, fucking hell, man. Like I love Austin Reeves now, bro. I can't lie. Like I don't care. Like that was amazing seeing what he did in those playoffs, man. That shit was outstanding, bro.
Watching those highlights were like insane, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he has ice in his veins, bro.
Yeah, ice in it, y'all. D-Lo needs some of that, man.
Facts.
Yeah. But nah, I feel it. Nah, it's fun. It's fun you being another sports fan though. That's great because I'm not gonna lie, with all these manga chapters, I be making a bunch of NBA jokes. Like I be saying, I be saying this is a bubble ring moment, like ironically, because I'm a LeBron fan. I be saying Lil Mickey.
Bro, that is my entire channel. Is sports references in the middle of a One Piece chapter, and like I feel so bad for people who are not sports fans because they won't understand. But I'm like, this is my comedy. I know sports comedy. That's my thing.
You know what's funny? It's like I got people like watching basketball because of LeBron memes. Because I just kept on saying, like, when I talk about stuff, I'll be like, because I stream right now, watch shows, and I'll be saying, yo, this is such a fucking Mickey moment, bro. Like, I'm a LeBron. I just love the memes around LeBron James. Like, it's just hilarious to me. So I just be, yo, oh my god, this is so fucking bubble ring, bro. Fraud, like all that shit, right? And it's so funny. It's actually getting people into basketball. It's like, oh wait, what do you mean by that, right? And then they start saying it, bro. Like something I've been doing recently, which is crazy, right? I'm not gonna lie, I'm insane for this, right? Because you know what I mean? Like where they made LeBron's like pregame ritual, like satanic shit, bro. Yeah. Like I just been doing that every stream for no reason, bro. I was just like, yeah. I have it all memorized to the T just to like freak people out sometimes. Cause I just find it funny, bro. But no, that's great. I fuck with that. Like, god damn, I really love your energy, bro. It's like,
yeah,
great, bro. Yeah.
Well,
as a leader of the channel, I like to offer you a 10-day contract.
That's crazy.
No, but let's get this is math and feeling, but we have like a few questions left that we wrote down. So bringing it back to One Piece. So shout out to the people that actually watched.
I feel like we've covered most of them though. Like, is there a specific one?
No, yeah, there's a few specific ones. Like,
unless he wants to create unless he wants to create a Gear 5 move for Luffy, a new one, brother. I don't know.
What would you say is your favorite arc, and then after that, your least favorite arc? I feel like you already said it though with Skypiea, like Skypiea guy.
Oh no, actually, my favorite arc is Wano.
Oh,
yeah. For a long time, like when I first caught up, I was big on Water 7 and Enies Lobby, and I love every One Piece arc. To me is like a 10, and it just keeps going up. That's how much love I have for all the arcs. But so it's like they've shifted over the years. Water 7, Enies Lobby, Marineford, Skypiea has always been there, and stuff. But the thing about Wano that I just love so much is it's like it embodies what makes One Piece so special. It feels like the Oda arc in all the best and worst ways. It's everything about this series. It's an epic. It's its own secluded story where it feels like its own manga. It's so cool. It's separated into acts. It's like a theatrical play. So many ties to Japanese culture and even stuff like Gear 5 Luffy versus Kaido being representative of Oda's thoughts on Western versus Eastern animation. Obviously, we know how Oda was heavily inspired as a child, watching Tom and Jerry, watching Flintstone, watching all this stuff. And in this arc, it was so cool seeing a transformation that tapped into Oda's inspirations, where he used Gear 5 Luffy fighting against Kaido, who transforms into a dragon, the representation of Japanese culture. And Luffy defeats him utilizing a transformation that is an American type of, like, based on our stuff, on Tom and Jerry, on Flintstones, on all this stuff. And it's like, it ties into the themes of Wano, of you have to be open-minded. Like, we need to open those borders to let in more information, to let in more inspiration. And it was so cool because Luffy from the beginning of the series has always allowed his imagination to run free. Genzo's pinwheel led him to creating a move. Watching Lucci led him to create Gear 2nd. Watching the animals in with Rayleigh created Gear 4. For Gear 5, it was all of that, except for Oda, I felt the literal thing. This is my opportunity to show people in our culture that we have to be more open-minded, to allow that to become a part of our culture. Like when you see someone who is completely open-minded like Luffy, who's not closed-minded, who's not going to like leave out all these possibilities, and he accepts inspiration from the outside, which is Tom and Jerry, which is the Flintstones, and he comes in and defeats Kaido utilizing that technique. That to me is the coolest thing ever. That's extremely meta, where you're like, yo, this man, in a similar way to where he did in the bath scene at the end of the arc with like Yamato and Kiku. He's like, yo, there's something I'm trying to say here. Where like there's a clear open. Same thing with Momonosuke and the Scabbards. There's a clear message that he's trying to say here in regards to the opening the borders. We have to be more open to things than just what's here available for us. And Wano as a collective whole is represented through that with the Luffy Kaido being like the Gear 5 versus Kaido thing. And it was just so cool seeing that play out, and that's just from a thematic standpoint. The hype moments are second to none. The Gear 5 stretch from like the moment Luffy loses to Kaido with the interference from the CP0 agent, to the Drums of Liberation, to the Gear 5 reveal, and then the Gear 5 showcase. That was the greatest weekly experience I've ever had in all of the years I've been reading manga. That was so much fun, man. Like it's in Wano was filled with those moments. It's just if there is any arc that represents why I love the series, it's Wano. And it's difficult, right? Because obviously I have so much love for all the other arcs, but Wano for the first time while reading through that arc and while watching it now in the anime, I was able to stop because for me it's difficult for me to detach anything from my like the writing stuff. Anything that I watch, I'm watching or reading first and storing into the memory bank as something to be used later from a writing standpoint. For One Piece and Wano, that was the first time where I went back to being a 6-year-old kid watching Dragon Ball, and it was that every week, where I was not coming at this to analyze it. I was not coming at this all the analysis, all of the incredible stuff with the arc itself. That came after. When I was in the moment, reading Wano week to week, it was Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, Goku going Super Saiyan 1 every week. I felt like a kid on Christmas Day receiving a PlayStation 2 and going in every single week. And there is no other arc that's ever made me feel that, except for now with Egghead. And that's why Wano's my favorite arc. It's just such a special arc, man.
So for least favorite arc?
For least, God almighty. that one's none.
It's okay, you can say Scorpio.
Well, that's in my top 3, so it's like let me see. I'm gonna
So like when it happens to like whenever somebody asks you like the Straw Hat like tier list, right? You just don't answer them whatsoever. You're just like they're all my favorite characters.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. But I feel like I have them in a certain order. I just have to.
Oh.
I would just have to think about it. It's one of those things. It's like they're all together, but I'd have to think about it. But in regards to least favorite arc, I'm just gonna for right now I'm gonna go Orange Town. In the beginning, I'm gonna go there. I feel like Oda's only gotten better with time. That was his first arc after Romance Dawn. There's a lot of good stuff there, but I just like everything else better. That'll be my answer.
That's a nice way to say it. So outside of Luffy, who would be your favorite character on One Piece?
That's a great question.
Oh, I love this question. It's so fun. Hold on.
I would say Nami.
Interesting. A lot of people don't go the Nami route.
Nami, from the very beginning of the series, was so interesting. She's the Fujiko Mine of One Piece. Represents so many other things of what makes the series so special. But I feel like Nami grounds the series. Every single other character in the Straw Hats early on and now is so out there. Even Usopp, who is also grounds the series, but he does it in the completely opposite way, similar to like what happened with Perona and Thriller Bark, where he's too negative. Where I feel like Nami's the perfect balance, where I enjoy her presence because it's like she allows the series to continue remaining real. You can never break the immersion with Nami there, because she just keeps everything so grounded. And but outside of that, it's her incredible character, her interactions with other characters, and also there's these really special moments. Like when we think back to, for example, the back-to-back incredible stretch of her moment in Fishman Island of forgiving Jinbei. And even though like individuals like Jinbei were not there doing that to her, the fact that she came to the conclusion, I can't hold on to this. Like, I need to forgive someone like Hachi who did do something to me. If I can do that, then I most certainly have to forgive Jinbei. And that was representative of the entire arc. In that same way, just like that represented the entire arc, in Punk Hazard, when she was the mother to the kids, and she had some of her coolest Bellemare-esque moments, I was like, yo, this is awesome. Like, this is exactly what we needed for Nami's character. And in Whole Cake, and in Zoe, and in Wano, it's like all those incredible moments pre-time skip, and she's been cooking just as hard post time skip. She's one of my favorite characters just to see on screen, but more importantly, she's one of my favorite characters to think about, because I genuinely do think she's one of the most well-written, consistent characters in the series.
Nami fans, we rise. We rise.
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes,
dude,
sir.
you're spitting, because when you really think about it, a lot of the time it's Nami that's connecting the crew to like wherever they're at, you know, like like you said, like Fishman Island with her, you know, with Jinbei and Shirahoshi, or you know, Punk Hazard with the kids, Zoe with the Minx, Alabasta with Vivi, you know, Hulk, exactly. Like she's that pivotal, like, you know, connection.
It's not just that also, but it's like she is the realism. Like she is like a real person's reaction.
Exactly.
Like if like even if it's comedic, if somebody looks like they're about to die, Nami's gonna be like, oh well, they're dead, time to go. Like literally, like, it might be as a bit or something. But Nami's always like, we gotta move. Or like specific, or I think the best example, because we talked about this earlier, was the Bellamy and you know, getting punched, and Nami's being like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like sitting here like, and all, because like she's the normal person looking at everything. And even then, Nami, like, while her aspirations to build a map, some of her like simple like core characteristics, like wanting money and all that stuff, like she's probably the most normal Straw Hat out of all of them, like most real world person. If anything, she's probably the most real world person in all of One Piece, you know, because she's while she is ridiculous, she's not overly ridiculous, which makes her work so well in One Piece, where everybody's crazy, super serious or anything. She's the good middle ground, like vibe of just like, I'm serious, but I'm also like going with the flow, but I'm still gonna like well, I don't think critique is the right word, but be like, y'all are weird. What are y'all doing, man? Like, it's really good. And I really like that. Yeah. I really like that point you got. All right, let me see what, because I know we got one last question. Because we naturally, honestly, got through everything without even asking. It just, the conversation flowed really well, man. So, like I said, thank you for being such an amazing like guest, man. We really appreciate it.
No, absolutely.
Okay. There's one question that we had. What would you like? Create a move for Gear 5, Luffy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes, the Gear 5.
That's dope.
He can do anything now, bro.
He can do anything. Let's see. Let me go to my cartoon memory banks. Let me. I would really love for Luffy to fire, like, so you know how throughout the course of the series we've been getting Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper. They're jealous of people who fire laser.
Yeah.
Like Frankie, the pacifist giant robots. I want Luffy to fire a laser, man.
The Luffy Boro breath is
that could be
Yes.
happening.
The
That could
Luffy
be
Boro
happening.
breath is coming.
With the giant robot, though. Who knows?
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, it could happen. It could happen, man. Like, I want him in some way, shape, or form because it would be so hilarious. He finally, maybe he even does it unintentionally. He fires the laser. You have everyone just pause what they're doing. They look up, and Usopp's eyes are out of his head. Chopper, Frankie, they're like, Sugoi! And Luffy's like, yo! I just fired lasers! Let's go! And I would love that so much, man.
They're all just hyping up, and then whoever they're fighting is like, what the heck is going on?
Right.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, that's great. I love that, bro. Like, you have so much love for the series, bro. I swear, because it's like to bring it back to how like Luffy, like in general, just loves Frankie being a robot and everything. So to call back that, like in general, just like Luffy having like a robotic feature because that's something you always wanted.
Yeah.
Definitely really good. I fuck with that heavy.
All right.
I feel like the last question there's another. I think this is interesting. How do you feel about the evolution of the One Piece fandom over the years?
Ooh, that's a great question. So I feel like the fandom, at its core, has always been similar, where you'll always, even before I joined, when an arc passes a certain point, the fan base will split. It happened during Enies Lobby. It happened during Greenford. It happened during Dressrosa. It happened during Whole Cake. It happened during Wano, where continuously the fan base will start off all collectively excited, and then they'll split.
Yeah.
What I find interesting, the evolution for that is, I feel like during Wano and now Egghead, I've seen there's a lot more on the positive side of things. Wano was the most well-received arc that I have been a part of in the community. And that's why when I hear people say that it's the most controversial, it's always weird for me personally, because Fishman Island was negatively received. Punk Hazard was down the middle. Dressrosa was negatively received. And we're talking about like overall community stuff, right? Like Zoe was loved, obviously. But that's a short arc. Same thing with Reverie. But Whole Cake was also down the middle, leaning more towards the negative. So
funny, man.
Wano was interesting, where it's like, I remember those final couple chapters, and yes, of course, a lot of people were disappointed, and rightfully so. I've had a lot of conversation with people that have differing opinions to me in Wano, and it's enlightening getting to hear their thoughts, their perspective in regards to this arc. But it's so interesting that Wano, of all the arcs, feels like it had the most positive reception. I mean, I look at some of those chapters when they dropped, like chapter 1000, 1010, 967, 1043, 4, 5, the Momonosuke chapter 1051, the Shanks showing up 1055. Like, man, the excitement in the community felt like it was higher than it had ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so dope. And so I would say my answer to that question is, the fan base at its core has always been the same, because every long-running fandom goes through this. But the cool thing about One Piece is that even when an arc is received, like Fishman Island, there's still so many positive voices in the community, and not just positivity, interesting conversations happening, that it's always an interesting time, no matter what. I just feel like with time, because so many people have come from other fandoms, there have been the addition of stuff like power scaling, the addition of stuff like the most recent discourses that have been And because of social media, that is way more in our face now.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
But I feel like at its core, still the same. It's just it's evolved with it. It's continued to evolve, just like every other fandom has evolved.
Yeah.
But it's I just find the One Piece community to be the one community that on a weekly basis we all come together for this one chapter, regardless how you feel about it. That has never changed. There's people who I know do not like One Piece, but they are so addicted to this feeling of being a part of something special that they're like, I can't let it go. Even though I know I don't like what's going on right now, I can't stop being a part of it. And in that way, community's never changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I like how you brought the power scaling thing, because I know power scaling on One Piece wasn't that big a few years ago. Like, this is a recent thing.
It's a recent thing.
Super recent, man.
Yeah.
Like, but that's a great thing that's going on.
It's pretty mature, right?
No, there's one last question. I'm pretty sure. Give me a second. I'm reading everything. Okay, yeah. This is the best question that ended off on. If you could recommend one series to One Piece fans that you think they would enjoy, what would it be?
Yeah, because you covered quite a few series on your channel. I know you're a Jitama fan. We talked about him and Reborn, Haikyuu, Bleach, Naruto. You know.
Yep. I think the only series, well, there's a lot of series that have given me One Piece vibes. You just said some of them, like Gintama, IQ, in regards to their vibe. But I'm actually gonna go to the video game space for a second. There's a series called The Legend of Heroes Trails that is a very long-running series. It is the only video game series I've played where each game leads into the next one. Just imagine being able to play a One Piece sized journey, except rather than reading it, you're playing it. You're experiencing it. I got into this series a few years ago, and how I was sold on it was, this is the One Piece of video games. And and when I heard that, I was like, I gotta check this out. So I started off, I was like, yeah, no, I can see it, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know if I would call it the One Piece. That's a high pedestal. At some point, I got so hooked that as we sit right now, that is right there, right next to One Piece, as one of my favorite series of all time. It is. I'm a big long-running series fan. I love Hajime no Ippo. I love JoJo. I love so many series. And Ippo is another series I would recommend to One Piece fans.
That's my favorite anime manga series.
Trying to get me on it, bro.
Yeah.
No show's been crying, bro.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you, Hajime no Ippo. So now cutting back from to the manga stuff, Hajime no Ippo, the journey of Hajime no Ippo is out of this world, bro.
It's so insane.
And you want to talk about people having Yonko energy? Ippo characters have Emperor Yonko energy, bro.
Mashiva, Miyata, like
Ricardo Martinez.
Fine, no show. I'm fine, no show.
Oh my god, like people. I wish Zero was here, because Zero is an Ippo fan, and Zero, he shares the same anime. Like you said, Yonko instantly. I'm like, I know, but all the demons he's talking about, all these crazy heavy hitters.
I really wish Zero was here. He would love you, bro. That's the missing fifth member, bro. But yeah, I feel like
bro. But that, excuse me, I should have brought that up. Yeah, that's true. Ippo, not only in length, but in terms of emotional moments, in terms of stuff being built up. Oh man, bro, Morikawa built some stuff up in the 80s that we're seeing payoff to now.
It's so
we're seeing payoff to it now. And it's a boxing manga. It's
bro.
so good, man.
No,
you guys are salesmen. I can't
the
do
thing
this.
is, like,
Yeah, no,
when I tell
Ippo.
people like my two favorite series, One Piece, Ippo, they're like, "You're insane. You're reading these 1,000 long chapters." I'm like, "No, you guys don't understand. Like the story that's been woven and just the callbacks and like even now I don't know if you're caught up, so I won't say
I'm caught up. Yeah, I'm caught
like,
up. I'm there.
just what's happening with Ippo and how he's thinking, oh, yeah, I guess I am kind of a southpaw, you know, and like him, like, if he ends up sparring with Ricky, oh my god, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
It's
All right, guys.
yeah. It's Ippo was special. I think long running series and special are really special. Those experiences like Detective Conan, Ippo,
another series I want to get into. Or I'm already in Detective Conan, but I'm not caught up. But
oh, nice. Well, what chapter are you on?
I'm actually watching. I'm on episode like 200 something, but I've been watching on and off for like years now.
Yeah. So for me with Conan, I would read the cases, and then one of my buddies was really into Conan. He had a list of arcs that I had to watch in the anime.
Okay.
So I would read and read and read. Once I got to a certain case, I would switch over to the anime, and it was always peak. Because it was like I would have the best of both worlds, the best of the manga, the best of the anime, and I would just switch back and forth. And that's how I caught up.
Amazing.
Yeah, but man, long running series are the best. But yeah, if because obviously Trails is the one that's reminding me the most of One Piece. But man, Ippo, if you guys, well, actually, there's another series I gotta add. So Hajime no Ippo, for sure for the long running thing. Another series that matches the hype of One Piece is Kingdom, man.
Ooh,
I love Kingdom, bro.
I have a Kingdom homie of mine, bro.
It's crazy.
I haven't read it yet. But I'll say this: the guy that I got in the anime, been recommending me Kingdom for years, man. I'll say that. Man.
It's crazy because I read Kingdom in middle school, caught up, didn't touch it for ages, and I completely forgot about it. And I think it was like this year, like I think it was Matt was talking about, oh, I want to get into Kingdom, and then it just hit me like a wall of memories. I'm like, Kingdom, oh my god, I remember all this crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, Kingdom is special, man.
Yeah,
it's a special series.
Well, guys, we're a Hajime no Ippo channel now.
I'm here for that. I'm telling you, bro.
All I'm saying, King Recon, before you go or head out, before you wrap up, just read Blue Lock, man. I'm telling you. Oh, listen.
I am.
Like everything you feel.
Gary.
What's good, Gary? But before you gotta read. Listen, this is my prediction. I feel like Blue Lock, for its cast and its members, it's gonna be up there with every series you're talking about. I know it probably sounds crazy right now. I might be overhyping it, but at the moment right now, I see Blue Lock. Like Blue Lock has the seeds of what it could be a long-running series with the cast members, the build-up, what it's referencing, where Isagi as a protagonist has to go. Like, you would not regret it. You're not gonna regret it if you pick up that manga, like that ass, bro. But
hey, I love the anime, man. I love sports series, bro. They represent so much of what makes shonen manga so special, and because actual sports, it's just shonen battle manga. Like
saying this, oh my god!
Basketball, boxing, everything. That's literally just shonen battle manga. So like having an actual sport manga like Haikyuu, Chihaya Furu, Ippo, Blue Lock.
I love Prince of Tennis.
Prince of Tennis, bro. That's a classic.
Yeah,
I've only watched the anime for that and on Toonami back in the day. Yeah, shout out to that. Man, sports series are great, man.
But I guess that's everything then. Yeah. Like it's time to wrap it up, man. Before we head out, man, King Recon, you got any final comments or anything? Yo, man, like how you feeling, man?
Yo, I just want to say once again, thank you so much for having me. This was a really fun time. I really rock with y'all's energy. Nothing but the best to y'all. It's up from here. You know, keep striving, keep moving forward, covering all the greatness, right? And I'm looking forward to the next time that we're able to connect. It was a fun time, and I just to add one more thing, just something that I brought up earlier. in regards to Wano as an arc. I forgot to touch on Momonosuke and Yamato, and my love for both those characters. Just real quick, I think Momonosuke is one of Oda's best. He's such a cool character, and we get to see his journey from Punk Hazard until he becomes a shogun, and it's so satisfying. It is such an incredible journey. But Yamato represents the opposite of that, a character that was not built up and instead was dropped up out of nowhere. And I can't imagine One Piece without Yamato, because Yamato represents, I feel like Yamato represents me more than Bartolomeo does. Bartolomeo represents me as a One Piece fan. Yamato represents how the One Piece journey has changed the way I am, has changed me as a person. Like, Yamato was locked in chains for so long, only living off of literature, only living off of Odin's book, believing in the heroes in the book, and being able to see the legends of that was like, it completely changed Yamato's life. And it was like, for her, imagine seeing Luffy, this hero brought up, and he not only does he live up to the hype from the book, the hype or not from the book, I'm sorry, from Ace, and it's like, I've been waiting for this individual. And then we had that moment from episode 10-15 where Luffy declares, I'm gonna become king of the pirates, and it changes Yamato's life right then and there. And like, I was like, nah, that's exactly how it felt when I turned on episode 1 of the series, and I was changed forever, dog. Like, and I was like, Yamato represents the fans so much, and is such a great character. And so, I just wanted to, I didn't want to finish the Wano thing before highlighting both Momo and Yamato, because they are really special characters.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Great insight, man. Shit. Well, we loved having you. Listen, I can speak for all of us. We loved having you. Like, oh my God, this was probably one of my favorite like videos we've ever done all time. I think I can speak for everybody when I say this. Like, we really appreciate you taking time out your day, bro. Like I said, it's like shooting a shot with a bad bitch, man. We were like,
because usually we try to time box the interviews to like an hour and a half. We be yapping for 2.5 hours, and it doesn't even feel like that long. It's just, it was just a great conversation that kept rolling. And like the fact that we even got to things like sports, basketball, football, soccer, like it just flows so naturally. And I'm really glad we got this opportunity to speak to you.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we appreciate you as a person, man. That ass, bro. We really do, man. But yeah, I guess it's time to wrap it. You you usually do the outro. I'm lazy.
Yeah, so if you made it to the part of the video, first of all, leave a comment, bro. Leave something to let us know that you watched this the whole way through.
Wait. Comment. Shit, I don't know. Yo, King Recon, leave. Say something for them to comment if they make it this far.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have made it this far into the video, I want you to go right into the comments and put hashtag Peak Fiction.
Yes, sir.
PEAK FICTION. Peak Fiction. All right. Leave that for the boys.
Yes, sir.
That's that Peak Fiction, man. Yeah, man.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like on it. And if you want to see more from us, consider subscribing to the channel. We'll leave all of King Recon's links to social media. I'll probably throw them up on the screen here. They'll be in the description. If you don't know about this man, you got to get to know this man. Like I said, bro, this is a person who not only has just such a amazing insight and view when it comes to One Piece, just like manga, anime in general. I know you talked about your writing and stuff. Is there anywhere have you published anything? Is there anywhere we can read stuff that you've written so far, or is it all just under lock and key until you decide to give it out to the world?
It's under lock and key, but I truly appreciate you shouting. Trust me, the moment that, and it'll be coming soon, but the moment that something like that becomes available, I will make sure to put that out there. And I appreciate y'all for showing interest. That means a lot.
No problem.
I will be buying. All right.
I appreciate you, man.
You're the man. So hit up, follow his socials, follow his YouTube, because like he said, as soon as it becomes available, we will be tapping in, and you should too. So. Yeah, thank you. Peace out.
Peace. So another.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.